Right, we're live. Hello.
Oh,
It's apparently 7 p.m. or ish.
This is probably the bit where it goes all laggy.
Yeah.
So catch up. But we're not. We're just gonna mess about for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, so we've got 2 minutes just to sort of go through this. Some good questions already in, guys. But yeah, we'll go through them in a minute. But yeah, welcome. At 7 p.m.
We'll do the proper introductions and all that kind of thing.
these guys keep looking down here, whereas I'm looking
Oh,
at the
yeah.
camera over there.
You're professional,
See,
man.
Matt's a professional camera.
It's not even my
I'm looking
camera.
at myself.
I
Yeah.
should be behind
We're used
there.
to looking at ourselves.
This is weird.
So, yeah,
We have mirrors everywhere. In the
we
shop.
do. Yeah, because I'm so gorgeous.
I'm actually a hired actor. Matt is
Yeah.
still there. He's still over there.
We just put a hat on him and
Yeah, he's some really geeky guy. Really.
Yeah, his knowledge of toys is amazing, whereas I'm just some actor. I'm just going to read these lines that we've got written.
Yeah, it's very good. So that's all I've got.
the cheat sheets over here that
We have.
not telling
We've been
everyone
very
about.
organised. We've got cheat sheets. And everything.
We're on. I can see it.
Oh, good.
46
Everybody
years.
hearing us loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Very good. Very good. Well, it's nice to see everyone in there.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm going to have a scroll through it and have a look.
Well, we can't yet. We have to wait till we start.
I know, but I'm going to have a look. Have a look.
This is what it's like in the van.
Yeah.
This is almost like I'm just about to roll, and it's like, hold on a minute, I need to get the map. Wait a second, I need my coffee.
Can you stop this? It's meant for like 7 p.m.
It's 7 o'clock, everyone.
All
Welcome.
Here we go. 7 o'clock. Welcome to Leicester.
Toyshop on tour, live Q&A.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Leicester Vintage and Old Toy Shop. Doesn't it look like a film set?
It feels like a space deck.
It does.
With
It's
the, with
good.
the lights we've got set. Should we introduce ourselves
Yes.
in order of importance?
Matt.
Gav.
Nobody said me. I mean, no one.
Yeah, because that's the obvious thing to go
Oh,
for, isn't it? Obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Joe first. Yeah, go on, please.
So, my name's Joe. For those of you that are new to it, I'm Joe. I am the owner of Leicester Vintage and Old Toy Shop, and we made a telly show. And this is what this Q&A is all about. And Gav?
I'm Gav. I work for Joe. I buy weird stuff. Watch the show.
That rhymed.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's
Write that down because that was serious too. Need a new opener.
You big opener.
Don't worry. Right, so
More of that later.
Gav's an artist as well, and I still can't get used to looking at
Oh,
these
yeah,
things.
yeah. We keep.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Our camera's up here, and we keep looking at the screen down here.
Yeah. So we apologise for our unprofessionalism.
We'll get used to
We'll
it.
get used to it. Yes.
And Matt?
I'm a filmmaker who, makes corporate films, but also documentaries and kind of TV stuff on YouTube. And bumped into these fellas, and Toyshop on Tour was born.
That's it.
Matt's into a lot of things that we love. So
Pop culture,
comedy.
yeah.
Did his first stand-up thing. So you haven't seen
Oh,
it
go
yet.
and have a look at that. It's on
Have a
our
look at that.
Facebook page.
Yeah, you have to scroll down a bit now, but it's fantastic.
We'll throw it back up to the top.
Yeah, we'll perhaps put it back on. But yeah.
Or someone do a comment on it.
So welcome you. We're going to start. Should we start answering some questions?
Yeah, let's answer some questions. That's a lot.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
let's go up to the
That's
top.
it. Right to the top.
Let's start
Let's
strong.
have a look then. What have we got?
Stephen
Who's
Cross.
the girl in the opening credits?
Yeah, well, the girl in the opening credits, she was from Herne Bay's fish shop.
Yes.
And I can't for the life of me think of the name of the fish shop. It does pop up at the end. We
But
do.
it's bang opposite Ram Collectibles.
I think it's called Two Fish or something like that.
It was really good.
But yeah, we needed to go, and this is we're going to spoil the whole thing of television now. We needed to film. I need to film these guys coming off Herne Bay Pier. But the best fish and chip shop, we were told by Ram Collectibles, was not on Herne Bay. So we went and bought the fish and chips, and I couldn't stop filming because we needed to get as many cutaways, as many shots as we can because they're always useful. And we did little promo in there, and that was one of the girls serving the fish and chips. So she gave us a lovely wave.
Yeah.
And if you notice, I actually changed it right at the very end, an alternative where she gives us a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Somebody spotted that.
someone did comment on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's waving all the way through till about episode 12, and then it's a thumbs up. But yes, so she worked in the chip shop opposite Ram Collectibles in Herne Bay.
Would highly recommend the chips.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really
Fantastic.
nice.
They're really good.
nice.
Yeah, so it was really good.
Good props because they were actually edible.
Hello to everyone on. Oh, someone from the USA watching. What time must it be over there?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's one of the things that we go, what time is it there? What time is it there? Depends what they are.
Sounding good. That's good.
That's good. That's good. Thanks very much. That's a Tron 1.
That's a Tron 1.
That's his real name. It's not a handle. That's his real name. So yeah, have we got any other questions? Have we got any other questions?
Oh, there's Vanessa.
Vanessa. Should we say some hellos? What are we going to do?
Hello to There's too many. We've
Oh,
just got comments coming out of our ears.
Well, you know, at least it's not just hair. You know, trim that.
There you go. Let's have a. Here we go. What we got here?
What we got here?
Have we bought any of the HasLab projects? Oh, he's got his order in for the Proton. But now we were down for that Rancor, weren't we?
We were, and we did thought. Well, I've done the Sky Striker.
Yeah.
I've done the right. So those I know my stuff on vintage toys, but modern toys I'm not the best. And television, no. But I did watch The Mandalorian. But I'm not interested in it enough to really know the name of the ship. What's it called?
The Sky Striker. Is that what
you're No, the Sky Striker is G.I. Joe one.
Ah.
But what's the thing? People will be screaming at this now, going, "You moron!"
Shout it out.
Yeah. Anyway, the Mandalorian.
It's not
Mandalorian
TV. We're not doing a TV review show. We're doing toy reviews.
Yeah, but no, the Mandalorian ship. We've got two of them on order.
Razor Crest.
Thank you very much. Whoever shouted that at us.
No, I remember
that in your
it.
head?
It just took me that long to get there.
Basically, we're very old men.
Yeah.
That don't know what we're doing. But yeah. So it's been I don't know. Yes, we bought them. I don't know what it'll be like. I've not really. It's new for me buying any of that.
It says Emerald Game Cave. Hello from Australia.
Hello,
cool,
Australia. Now then, what time is it there? I mean, that is the question.
Stop that. We can't carry on.
We can. Weird stuff, Daniel Perry.
Yeah, weird stuff.
Yeah, everybody loves the weird
everybody
stuff.
Everybody has a different bit of the ending titles. Like, some it's He-Man, some it's weird stuff.
Yeah.
Bootlegs, you know,
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody has a different one, it seems. But that was just Rift. We did that I think towards the end of the series in a car park.
Putting it together and like realising the bits that you had to do right at the end was sort of like Matt was just like, we need to do this.
We need opening titles.
But we're done. Like, no more Toyshop on tour.
And there's a man trying to lock the car park.
There was, yeah.
That was touch and go. That one.
When Joe and Gab were just shouting stuff out. It was like, I said, right, we need think of all the toys, think of all the things.
Just
think
of things.
Yeah,
Transformers, He-Man, weird stuff. And then we just we edited it down to make it like snappy, but
it's weird stuff. I think when Gav originally said it, he just went weird stuff. It came out. So yeah, it was kind of cool.
If money was no object, I would like a series of T-shirts with all of these catchphrases.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Right then,
but money's definitely an object.
There you go. Evening. Glad you got your Velma. Yes,
got two Velmas.
Two Velmas.
Thanks
for Tony Byfield.
Yeah, and Retro. Who gifted it him, bless him. What a top man.
It is, Tony.
But yeah, so it's been your Velma thing, sort of. Yeah. I think now you're going to army build them, aren't you?
I think I am, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most expensive Lego figures.
Well, it's not the most expensive, but it's a hard one.
It's up there, yeah.
It's a hard one.
Oh, all the regulars in tonight.
We have, yeah. Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed the series. Mark Potter.
Yes.
Has enjoyed the series. That is David Young.
Yes.
It is your new humanoid in the background. He is, and the wonderful example he is. Because we were looking at it going, what's going to make a good... Because we wanted to show you everything at the back, but basically because me and Gav are bold, it was shining off our heads too much. so we decided to put a few larger toys out to show off. And
he's great. In fact, all the Inhumanoids that we've had
are amazing.
Brilliant.
Fantastic toy line. So we don't see it, because we don't see them in the UK. Yeah. It was like getting them in and putting them in the cabinet, especially with Centurions, because they're so bright and colourful. The cabinet.
I love the little tree guy as well.
Yeah, Redwoods.
Redwoods,
and the.
We spotted him on tour. I think he was in one of the. We did get a shot of him. Yeah, the brown one with the green eyes. Yeah.
Let's see, we've missed that.
And that's the thing when we're watching back Toyshop on tour. You see, there's so much stuff.
Now, can you see that I said the brown one with the green eyes? Just wanted to put this out there. I haven't got an encyclopedic knowledge of toys, but I do remember them from the first time round. But obviously, when we were going round, I learned loads of stuff. I was learning as going on. My role really is the devil's advocate audience. I'm trying to be people who have no knowledge. Well, it's easy because I don't have any knowledge, but throw stuff in. And that's great. That's great for these guys because often they get into a world of, they'll go off in the high-end knowledge, and I have to bring it back down and go, yeah, what is the name of this toy and what toy line is it? And then it kind of build up from there.
He has to keep telling us because we assume that everyone knows what it's all, but it's not just toy people watching the show, is it? We found out.
No, we get excited. What it is, it's genuine excitement. You're going somewhere, we see something, we go, oh, yeah. And Matt's like, yeah, but what is it?
But also wanted to make it. We wanted to make the show great entertainment for people who know a lot about toys, but also people that might literally have stumbled upon it and might be just getting into toys, or might be thinking, oh, well, I want to go back and revisit my childhood. And it's a bit like that. What's the High Fidelity? You know, the bookstore, record shop.
Yeah, top 5.
Some people go into, you feel intimidated, but you want Toyshop on Tour is a great way of, you can watch it and you can gain a lot of knowledge, and you can walk in and like me and pretend that you know stuff because you've heard it from all these dealers that you've met, and you can go in there and go, oh, is that a French Transformer there? That French Optimus Prime? You can tell because of the little mark at the bottom. So yeah, that was kind of my role a lot of the time. A lot of my questions I'd cut out. Some of them left them in if it was funny. Most of the time I'd run around the shop, find one of these guys and say, right, what are you doing? Tell us about this toy you've got now. Cut that bit out, and then suddenly we start that take. So hopefully it's brought some new people into collecting toys, and hopefully reinvigorated old ones at the same time.
Yeah, so toys should be something that's approachable. If you come into the shop, you should feel hopefully welcomed. And if we're busy doing something, we won't harass you, because if we're trying to buy toys, I mean, you've got no chance of talking to us, to be quite frank. But yeah, we want everybody to, and that's what the show should be. It should be something that's accessible for everyone. Yeah, and we're glad that most people have really enjoyed it.
And I think from the start, it was not. We didn't want to make it a serious. We could have made a serious toy.
I don't think we've got it in us to make it serious.
It would have been hard.
Yeah,
it would take a lot of concentration. But I think because your customers have all got a sense of humour.
You've got to be dealing with us. You've got to be.
But I think most people, if you're collecting toys, you have got that fun, still got that twinkle in your eye for your youth and all that kind of thing. But most people we met, not just people in the toy shop, but even people that we met on the road and stuff like that, there's this whole sense of humour thing going through that whole thing, and we tried to cultivate that.
We've got some great stories from Toyshop on Tour.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that in a little bit.
A technical question. Oh, there's my mum. Hello, mum.
Hi, mum.
Daniel Perry. Technical question. How long does it take to edit an episode, Matt?
Well, I managed to get it down to 2 days an episode. I think the first one took slightly over because I had to make the titles, but we had set ourselves this crazy thing of each episode was going to be shot in a day, and the first episode was going to be ready. I think it was the weekend after we got back, and they were going out every Sunday. So I have got a day job, so I did have to do other work. So I could have spent a lot longer on them, but I set myself 2 days kind of as a maximum time to spend on it. It's great because it focuses the mind, and it also meant, they also run slightly different in time. I think they started off about 30-35 minutes, and they waver between 30 and sometimes 40. But 35 was kind of the sweet spot as well I wanted to get to. And there was some stuff that ended up on the cutting room floor that was never been seen. Some stuff we reused, and some stuff we kept back, like the V, because we thought that would tell a better story. We didn't want to have the next episode where we uncover a load of other V stuff when you just had that great V episode of the haggling. So we did decide to keep some stuff back. But yeah, 2 solid days. I'm talking, get in, bring your lunch with you, don't leave the screen.
And I think everyone can agree, Matt smashed it completely.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what you do is you do your first sweep is usually it's a 50-minute long show, 45-50 minutes long. And then you're like, well, let's make it 30. So you edit it, and then you go back and you cut a lot of the sequences, making them a bit choppier, and often change the music if this is not working. But yeah, it was from an exercise for myself. It was a great. I've done some long form documentary things recently, and that's a completely different style of editing. This is quite. You want to keep the action there. You want to keep it zipping along and entertaining, and a lot of stuff that
we said action.
Yeah, but we filmed a lot of stuff in the van that was quite. We probably filmed about half an hour of backwards and forwards, chatting different bits and bobs. But often you didn't need it. Sometimes you needed it, but often we know where we're going, and you just want to need a little quick, a bit of a snappy, a bit backwards and forwards between Gav and Joe to get you to the next location. So yeah. Anyway, I've waffled on.
There we go. Craig Blackshaw.
Evening, fellas. With the success of the YouTube show, has been any interest from TV stations for some appearance or show? No. Basically, no. We've kind of we're at this now. It's kind of done. We're now in that planning stage. We're now in that stage where we will get
putting it out there, can't we?
Putting it out there. So now it's complete. I think now is the time we'll start to push it. We'll get the new year out of the way, and then we'll really try and push and see what we can get, because we could do with some help.
But also, I mean,
we could definitely do with some help.
Yes, definitely. In every sense, not just the show.
But also, Toyshop on Tour was going to be the American thing first, and this was really, we were too impatient to be sitting around waiting, obviously COVID and all the other different things. So the UK one came about, okay, there's a window here. We can actually travel around safely. We can do this. So why don't we do Toyshop on Tour in the UK? So really, I think we're still kind of warming up. We hit the ground running, but I think it's kind of like a prequel, really. Although it's series 1, the idea was originally the American series.
Yeah, we've got quite a few questions.
Here we go. Let's go with this one. Even though, what's your thoughts on modern releases using vintage style packaging? It's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah. Somebody said earlier, I'm going to tie this in with another question which we asked right at the top. Somebody asked, I'm sorry, gentlemen, I forgot your name, but the guy that asked, this is my answer to that question. You asked about the why the hate on repro and stuff like that. It's not at all. It's not a hate. It's just when it's sold as not repro, when it's sold as original. That's where the problem. If it's your own collection, you do what you want. It's your money. It's your stuff. It won't be worth as much, and it isn't the real thing. But be honest with you, if it's just for you and you're going to keep it, you do what you want. But if it comes to selling it, it's when you sell it as, and not people don't do this, but they forget. They buy stuff and forget. And we had a guy, we bought a collection the other day. The guy said, everything's original in there apart from this. And then when I go through the collection, there's about 4 or 5 things. And they just get in and people forget. And then it just becomes a pain, because if you're valuing a figure, say a Thundercat with a hard to find weapon, the weapon's not right, and you've spent too much money basically, and you're scuppered. So yeah, but the modern release using vintage style packaging, I think it's nice.
I think it's nice, like the new Ghostbusters that came out.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
They're great. They look like the original ones, but they're not. They've got branding on from this year. And we had a loose Ray in the other day.
I really like
the quality of the figures is very different to the ones from the 80s. So there's no worries of them being passed off as vintage.
No,
if that's anyone's worry.
No, so I'm all for it. I like
like vintage collections, really cool. We've got something falling off the peg there. There we go. That's a modern figure.
I remember the first time I saw them,
vintage looking thing.
The first time I saw them, I was like, "Wow, they're so cool." Yeah. But I kind of made myself not buy them.
Yeah,
because
it's just a different thing for the collectors.
Yeah, and if you're into art, we all collect for different reasons. So no, it's all good with me.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh, here's an interesting question. Stevie Jim, what's the most inspirational things you've taken from the shops you've visited? Ooh, that's a tough question, isn't it?
I like that. I've got
inspirational.
Yeah,
define inspirational.
Yeah. I'm going to go with I liked Dale's shop, more great stuff. I loved the fact that it was sold for the kids, and it was still with that in mind. Because a lot of these shops you walk in, and not a lot of these shops on the tour, but if people walk in from outside, it's kind of an alien environment. If you're not into toys, you're not into toy collecting, and you walk in for the first time, it can be a little bit of an overload. It's like speaking back personally for myself years ago, I walked into a shop and the bloke was just very much sort of looked down his nose at me.
That was like when I come into your shop first time.
Yeah, right.
But it's not as bad as a record shop. I mean, no disrespect to record shops, but I do think a toy shop it can be intimidating, but it is more welcoming than a record. But a lot of stuff's kind of hitting you, like you can't sit. When you go into a good toy shop, you can look around and you kind of spot the thing. Oh, there's my section. You can see stuff. But in a record shop, you're like, oh, where is the section on that? And then you have to ask. And as soon as you have to, that's when it's a toss of a coin whether you're going to get the guy that's going to be, or it's going to be the guy, oh, right, you like that, do you? Which you don't tend to get. Well, certainly didn't get when we were filming. What's that? This guy got distracted.
Sorry, just seeing the question.
Oh.
Hi, guys. When I come to the shop, what do I say to get a discount? Lol.
You say you're with the film crew.
Yeah. Basically, it depends on the item. Like with all the dealers.
There's no hard and fast.
No. And when we went out on Toyshop on Tour, everybody says, oh, you don't, you asked. Yeah, we asked. And on some items, we couldn't do it. And we didn't film those. We said, if you got anything you've got a bit of movement on, you would kind of test the ground out first. You wouldn't just go and steam it. Well, I would, to be fair. But you wouldn't steam in and kind of like, if it was something they weren't comfortable with. There's things in this shop which I know I've got money on, and I will not sell it for less than that, because basically find another, as was pointed out a number of times on it.
Yes.
And there's other things where I think, well, you know what? And a kid came in the other day and he bought a couple of cars, and I gave him a load of other free stuff. There was a kid bought a load of stuff. It just depends on what you've got and what you've got in the items. If you're looking for new stuff, then we haven't really got any profits in it, so you're not going to get that.
You did mention in episode 12, though, didn't you, that you obviously you know what you've got in.
Yeah.
You know what you paid for something. You know if it's an item where that's you're going to make a loss. Or there's some. Oh, you also said, if you had a good day and there's, where you're trying to move a load of stuff, then you're probably likely to be full lucky.
Have you got any movement on that? That's always kind of a good one, because it's like kind of like some items you can kind of go, you know what, mate, you can have that for £5, and people really love that, and I love doing that.
Oh, I do.
I love it when you can chuck something in and it can make someone's day. That's the best thing. But there is certain things where it's just such a special item, and you're going, I don't want to sell that particularly. So that is kind of where I'm at with it, We've sold one Tongosaurus, the other one I'm going to cling to like that.
This is a good question from Scuba Pete. All the shop visits were great, but was there one shop you didn't want to leave or get enough time to do a deep dive? Most of the shops, to be honest, we didn't get enough time.
I think also that the other thing with the schedule was, we didn't often mention it, but there was about an hour usually, roughly. We were only really had an hour and a half tops in each shop, because there was usually a 2 or 3 hour drive in between. So there was a clock ticking, and I think when you got to Nerd Base, because that was such a big shop, I think there was, because the whole thing with the Black Star came really, really late. It wasn't on display, and that kind of came left the field. And I remember we were like, oh, we've got to go here, but it was such a great item, and the haggling started. That we did end up being late. But there was, which shops did you not want to leave?
I really enjoyed quite a lot of them, and there was quite a lot I didn't want to leave. But there was, I don't know, because we were on such a tight schedule. You were kind of like, it was such a tight schedule that you didn't have time. And we look back at the videos and look back at them and see the items in the background and go, why didn't we ask?
Why didn't we see that?
It's probably during the end of the day, because we did, obviously these were shot in a day. When we got to the last place, it was kind of towards closing time. Yeah. So I suppose those times you were like, oh, you could spend a bit longer, but you realise you don't want to. The person's been waiting for you. And everybody was so great. I mean, lots of people opened up. We did an episode on Bank Holiday Monday. A lot of people stayed late for us if we were running a bit late and whatever. So
first show, and he's cornflakes.
That was brilliant. That was such a good opening to the show, wasn't it?
We were really lucky. We were really lucky that the first show did go so well, because it could have been chucking it down with rain. We could have been late. We could have been we were on the 12th show. Somebody's alarm might not have gone off. Those kind of things.
Here we go. From Mark, what are your grail hopes for the US toy shop on tour? What do you want to see in America? See, this is what excites him.
I want USS flags. I want cat slayers. I want any big place. So sectors.
Your bag full of blue snags.
Bag full of blue snags, obviously, because they're everywhere. Because they're not. I know that, and I know this is completely pie in the sky. Just stuff I don't buy over here. That is it. If I haven't seen, I'll tell you what, the bargain things I want to get, though, the things that I really want to get that are cheap or cheaper, is the Ertl. I'm not going to say this, and everybody's going to be buying them. Yeah. But the Ertl range of like diecast that they did for all the TV times of the 80s,
nice
little small cars, Smoking the Bandit, Convoy, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So but
but more expensive sets that we can't sell in the cabinets.
Yeah. Exactly what I want. Stuff that we can't sell.
Stuff that we can't sell.
That I can keep and kind of go, oh.
And the cabinets are looking mighty fine, I must say. I think that's one thing that these guys have picked up from the tour.
Yeah, the lighting.
The lighting.
The lighting, yeah.
Yeah, you can't, unfortunately, you can't. So you'll probably see it in the next toy shop.
But that's thanks to Malk Pate, Gav's dad.
My dad.
So it was, he basically got us a load of cabinets that we got them at a very good price, and they've all lit. In fact, I haven't paid for them yet, so it's a very good price at the moment. And we, as a treat, Gav and Malk bought some new lights for one of the cabinets and did it all for us. So as a present, that was amazing. A little treat. Speaking of treats, we've had somebody bought us Lauren, thank you, remembered your name. Not that I've got it written down as a crib sheet on there, but we've got a load of we've got a load of cookies off which I certainly don't need, but thank you, off a customer the other day. So there's been lots of nice things brought in.
As well, Neil sent us the
phablet.
Yeah.
I don't.
The
I'm
deadly,
I'm not thanking
deadly.
him for that.
Oh, I love it.
I know
It's
you're
terrible for me.
diabetic. It's like having.
It's like little cubes of sugary goodness.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
What's that?
Oh yeah, you'll have to try some. It's amazing.
Yes.
You won't sleep tonight. You'll be awake like that.
There we go. John's in.
Hi, John.
Do you wish you could have spent more time in Scotland?
Always.
Scotland is beautiful. We love it.
I love Scotland. John was going to take us out for a meal as well. But yeah, we love Scotland. I mean, it comes over in the episode, and that was very genuine. It's my favourite. I can't wait. I'm going there on holiday this year. I've got nearly 3.5 weeks or something like that in Scotland. I can't wait. So yeah, no, the more time we spend
come and get your bargains while Joe's away.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll do. They'll normally, when I go away for a period of time, they normally do some
giveaways and things. Yeah.
So just to
wind him up.
Yeah. So that's the last time.
Right then, let's have a look. What we got? Afternoon from the US. Loving the series. There you go. Are we a fan of Voltron? See, I love Voltron as a thing, as a design. Do you know Voltron?
Yeah, but I didn't have a telly, so
no.
I mean,
to be fair, it wasn't really on over here, was it?
So is Voltron the cats and things?
Yes, that's it. Looks.
They stick together.
Yeah. See, it's clear that we don't really know about Voltron.
The toys, yes, massive fan.
They're
I love
great.
I love the fact that one of the figures is called Keith. I think that's a great name for an action figure.
You made that up, is that
no,
right?
that is true. That is true. He's like this,
back to your wrestler
sort of
knockoff wrestling figures again now.
This figure there, and he's all like,
Keith
like,
what?
I don't know. It just says Keith on the
Cats.
packet. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Voltron toys are very cool. I love them.
They do look great.
Again, because I don't see them over here very often, but the French and the Europeans love them as well.
So maybe if we make it to Europe one day.
Well, the big Matchbox playset, that used to come in fairly often. I've not had one of those for a few years.
Oh, is it the one with the comes out its arms, or is that something different?
No, that's something else.
Oh well.
There we go. Comes out of its arms. I'm going to go with no on that.
There we go. This is a good question. Mostly boy toys. Don't girl toys sell? It's not that, is it? That's not the problem.
Definitely isn't the problem. We love. I mean, if you watch the show, you have to buy girls' toys. We love buying girls' toys. We've got one dedicated girls' cabinet. It's the hardest cabinet to buy for. It's harder than buying vintage Star Wars. It's harder than buying. The Star Wars is everywhere, so you can always buy it. Yeah. But like buying nice ponies at the right money, buying like Polly Pockets. It's ages since we've had an amazing collection of Polly Pockets.
Was it vintage 77? Am I getting that
vintage
right?
72.
72.
Yeah.
They had a really good
that was a great
selection of
little
girls'
shop.
toys.
Yeah.
And I think that's because his other half had been interested in a lot of her collection. But yeah, that was a shop that really put a good display. But you've got a whole cabinet, haven't you?
We've got a whole cabinet, but it's just it's the most frustrating one.
We like more. I'd like a row of girls' toys cabinets.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have like a dedicated ponies cabinet. But now I don't think we've got any ponies left.
No, as soon as we get them in, they sell.
Yeah,
so that's not the problem.
I'm both wistfully looking over at the girls' cabinet.
Yeah.
Now. So yeah, it's not because I don't sell, but yeah,
what we got here then? Have you changed the shop recently based on what you saw on the tour? I think that goes back to the lighting again.
Yeah.
Well, we walked into I'm going to
Unit 3 collectibles.
Birmingham. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like from a cameraman's point of view, I was like, I can film every cabinet. I'm going to rack the iris up and try and artificially lift the light. And I think these guys also saw that it was like, you could see not just the figures at the front, but often the cabinets are kind of full of 3 deep, and the old lighting kind of falls off. But the new LED lighting, and it makes it look cleaner as well. It's that kind of daylight and crispness. So I think definitely the Leicester shop has changed. Well, the Leicester shop has changed in the 5 years that I've come in here. It's completely been evolving all the whole time.
I've got a lot fatter.
I'm not saying that, but it has become a lot of people say, wow, it's like a museum, and it is. It's like a museum you can buy things from.
Yes.
But these guys put a lot of effort in. You can definitely say, and from a point of view of filming, because the reason I met these guys was we were going to do a film. Well, we still are, but it was in a landfill far, far away. We just basically buried the legend of the buried Palatoy Star Wars figures that were buried when the factory closed. And so I spent a few days in here, a month, filming customers and and that's and the shop, the footage from that time. You look back, the shop has completely changed. It's been changed around. It's more open. There's so much more stock, and it's so much better displayed than it.
But we have always done that, and this shop is not just me. It's not just me and Gav. It's not just me, Gav, and James. It's not just me, Gav, James, and Tim. It's a whole gambit of loads of different people that have kind of made this shop what it is. It's definitely not through any sort of skill on my part. It's just through the fact is that loads of people have been involved, loads of people have helped, and we appreciate them very much. So that's why, and we've always invested as well. We've always kind of, when the rare occasions we've had money, because everybody thinks that you've kind of got loads of money, but we just invest it. We just buy stuff for the shop. We have better toys now than we've ever had before. Well, not now. We sold September, but generally speaking, we've got better toys now than we've ever had before. And I love that.
But come down,
we put it back in.
Just come and
come
see us.
The show's great, but see it in person.
See it for a question from Matt then.
Oh,
favourite toy as a child? Because they've asked us this millions of times, but they don't know yours.
Well, what is that? Rob Taverner. I've actually brought my toy. I don't know whether these got. This is a surprise. So this, I've still got it.
Oh,
This was old. This is in a shop. I lived in a village, and the guy that ran the shop, it was a post office. He was partially sighted, lost his sight in the end. But I used to go and look at this toy, and he bought it for me one Christmas. And this toy stayed with me throughout the lines. So I would play with this with Transformers. I would play with it with He-Man. Because it was got about the right size, A-Team. And it's great because he's magnetic. And also, can I shoot the fists?
Go on, do it.
These fists you can scare cats with these. Look at that. It's 1976. And it all still works great. And it's not gone yellow. So yeah, I don't like any of the Micronauts. I'm sorry. They all look completely weird. They're all different. But this guy, it's like a Transformer a Star Wars knockoff.
And Baron Karza.
I do like Baron Karza.
Baron Karza is good.
Yeah, Baron Karza. And there's a black cat that comes over from next door that I call Baron Karza. But he's quite nasty. But yeah, and
he shoots his
his paws fly off. But I won't shoot the middle. He's got like a middle missile as well. And that goes even further. That would go.
Would you get your 18-foot squirt?
Yeah, it's quite long. It would go into the cabinets. But yeah, so this.
We're not doing that.
This I've kept this because this. Out of all my toys I had as a kid, this is the one that you could play with all the different toy lines with.
Yeah.
But I never really saw the original one because it was old when I got it. But yeah,
I never had him as a kid.
It's brilliant.
But he's a great toy.
He is cool.
But no, he wasn't. I didn't meet anybody. None of my friends had him. He was always like, "Oh, what's that?" And he was unusual because I don't think they were that popular.
They were a big toy. They were bigger in the States than they were here.
Well,
but yeah, they were cool. They were big for a while. It was one of the things I used to find quite often when I was out buying years ago.
But were they as loved? I don't think they were that well loved as I've loved it.
I think lots of people love them.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, great. Well,
I think you'll find that lots of people feel like you, and yeah, but the underappreciated toys are sometimes what you love later on.
But I like a toy that you can carry on even when, because kids go in and out of, they like something, a lot of the time they move on to something else. But sometimes you get that toy that you take with you for another toy.
Sticks with you.
And then when you've grown up, you've kept it. You know.
Yeah.
Here we go. Favourite moment from the series and why? From Vanessa, which I'm assuming is also my dad at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Mine's a no-brainer. The Zords thing.
Oh,
When we went to see Mark Daniels.
Yeah.
I was genuinely quite emotional with that.
Yeah.
Like, and it surprised me as well, because I've not really had that with a toy or anything before, but that took me properly back.
It was weird that because I've known you a long time. And
Yeah.
You know, you have your sort of have a tender moment, but he's not like. But then to see him like quite, teared up over that, and that was kind of like I was kind of thinking you'd expect me to do because I'm an old soap, but, you know. Yeah,
but it was genuinely we weren't supposed to be there that day. It was a last minute addition, so it was a genuine bit of luck, serendipity, because for that to be there and for us to actually go there was just luck, really.
Gavin talked about it so many times before in the past, and I'd love to see that again.
Yeah.
And then seeing it on the show was like a magical moment, and we had no idea. It wasn't set up, it wasn't anything.
No, it was genuinely just there.
No
we arrived, it was there. I think that's what made it. That's why it was so, you know.
If you knew it was there, you'd be.
Yeah, I know, I'd prepared myself a bit. Yeah.
Steady.
Yeah.
I think mine. I think the thing I'll always remember is probably the Black Star gift set, because and it's gone now. It's sold straight away. But, that's something I'll always remember. But I think for me, I've got a little Obelix that I was given by Spiro, the Galactic Attic.
Oh, Spiro.
And that sits on my. I've got a toy from when I was a kid. It's the only toy I've got from when I was a kid. It's a Gold Toys wooden, like, sort of milk float thing in green with yellow milk cubes. Weird. But he just sits on the front of that. And every day, if I'm at my computer at home, I will see my Obelix there. And I've got loads of Obelixes, but he's my favourite. So it's weird stuff that I've kind of grown to love after the series end. I've kind of gone, I really like him. He's great. And it was free. It was, a gift from Spiro. So, yeah, great.
And Matt, you've got a different view on it, really.
Well, I look at this, the last episode, the last penultimate one, the last episode of the tour in Scotland. But I think by the time we got to that point where we did the bit by the lock, I just couldn't wait to get the whole series arc to the end of it so you could see the kind of like reflection part. I couldn't wait. And also, will it look as good as I remember it? And you put some music to it and all that kind of thing, and the drone shot of the lock. But yeah, I just felt like it didn't end the series on a low, on a downpour, like just fizzle out. There was actually a nice, shape to it. So I loved the end of the episode 11.
I think when I answered that question with the kind of like my favourite toy moment of the series, my favourite toy of the series, I think my favourite moment, I think that reflective moment in Scotland.
I think we were all a little bit teary watching that back.
Yeah.
We were all tired as well. Obviously, we spent a lot of time from our loved ones. We were genuinely on the road, and it was early mornings. It was late finishes, and that was kind of a really calm moment, sitting by the lock, literally thinking back over 12 days, and we knew we got some great stuff in the can. We knew we'd filmed some great stuff, and it was just that moment of looking back and thinking about everything that had gone on. So yeah, but you've got to do all the other stuff to get there. So the whole series was great, but it's nice to get that last bit.
Okay, we keep getting asked the question.
Okay. Well, we're not avoiding any questions. So if we don't answer them tonight, it's not because we're avoiding them. It's just we're getting quite a few coming in, I think. Any plans for season 2? No, we're not bothering.
There are plans.
It's been good. It's been good. We've done well while it lasted. We're being put out to pasture now. Yeah, of course. There's plans for series 2. There's plans for specials in between, which we can tell you about.
We can talk about it.
We can talk about the specials. We've got plans. So we do put feelers out on our Facebook page. Like you'll notice that we put a thing about Ireland because we've got like a lead there, and then that went cold on that lead, and we put that off. But we do want to get to Ireland at some stage. But the main thing is we're going to be doing a thing called Collector Focus, which will be just in between the series. We're going to be going out and seeing collectors that have got high-end collections or just amazing collections that are going to blow your mind and blow our mind, and go out and see them, film the collections, find out why they collect, what they collect, and make a little show out of that, which should be really exciting. So we're looking forward to that. So if you've got a collection which is amazing, we have got quite a few ready to go. We know we're going to see. But yeah, we're going to be doing a bit more of that. And series 2, though, we're just waiting to see what happens. I think still the COVID situation is still a little bit. So it won't be America. We can tell you that. But it may involve going off this country, off this slab of land.
Off this island,
Yeah.
We're going to cross the sea a little bit, maybe.
We are, yeah.
Jay.
Yeah, no, not at all, because that's what
they are dolls.
That's what they were in the original design brief. The dolls for boys, and then they got changed to action figures. So there. But yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. Just go with it. Just relax, Jay. You're fine. We know. So no, it's no, not really. Never will. And I love it. I mean, Rick was always a great one for writing stuff that would wind Action Man. We did an Action Man show anyway. Dress up outfit for Dress Up Dolly on the Action. And I went to this show, and this was written on this bag. These blokes are looking through this stuff. I'm like, oh no. So yeah, don't know. It's but it's great. Action Man are a great line. I love them. So.
Question for Matt: how many times did you crash the drone?
Well, you saw both of them. I crashed it twice, and
a couple of near misses.
To be honest, I'm not just blowing my own trumpet. I hadn't been flying it very long at all. I was always anti-drone because there was lots of
kept droning on about it.
Yeah, kept droning on about it. Because there's lots of legal loopholes and that kind of thing. And then they brought out a drone that was small, pretty harmless, and insurable and all that kind of thing. but I got a bit cocky and I decided to chase the van down deserted roads at the early hours of the morning. That we found these country roads, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stand at one end of the road. I know if there's going to be a car passing, I can see if there's any cars coming towards us. So I want to get that shot following the van. And nearly every time I got a good shot, and then a second good shot, and then just going a bit too fast. And when I took the corner, I went into a long weed, which you see in one of the end of one of the episodes, and then I hit a lamppost. But both times, the drone survived intact.
That's a tough drone. That is amazing. That drone. It doesn't look it. It looks really flimsy, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
And there is a photograph of me literally holding this drone up when we found it in the long grass, and it flew off my hand and worked. I was literally thinking, I thought it was
ruined my trainers. I got back out that long grass.
It's quite wet that morning.
Yeah, I got wet feet all the way. I mean, it was at the early morning, wasn't it? So all day I got wet feet because that.
Well, I crashed it twice, being a bit too cocky with it, really.
Yes.
But you were blowing your own trumpet. You were very, very good with it.
Well, a lot of people think that shot I was in the back of the van or following in a car, but no, I was miles away. I was miles away doing it remotely down the street. I'm sure that's legal. It is legal. It's fine.
So what happened in the night time between two shops? Any juicy goss? I think we could just talk about craft beer box there.
The only things that really happened with, I mean, we had a few beers in the craft beer box, which was good.
Which is noticeable on the next morning episode.
Yeah, because we're all a bit like. So it's just when you've been and the beers ABK, the beer company, which I probably shouldn't mention too much of, but they make some amazing beer. And we kind of got overexcited on the day, and we just had a really long time. And that day was meant to be. It was day 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were meant to have like a sleep in that morning. We didn't get it, and then we ended up sort of doing.
We did all the beach thing.
Yeah, we did the beach thing. And then we ended up going back to see Tim at the craft beer box, and it was great. But you know what it's like when you've been by the sea. So we just yeah.
I also had to copy a lot of media across that in the evenings for all the GoPros and all the cameras to make sure it's safe and too hard for us. So there was that unglamorous part.
Yeah, it wasn't. We didn't go home very late, to be fair. But there's no really, because we were so tired. Literally, we'd arrive somewhere, we'd get there, we'd film the last thing of toy of the day, or sometimes we'd forget and have to film it the next day. But generally, we'd film it that night.
Yeah.
Only one night did we forget. Generally, we'd film it that night, and then we'd have some food, we'd have a couple of beers, we'd have a bit of a chinwag, and then everybody would be off to bed. Yeah. So,
but also, it was genuinely exciting because I'd say a proper TV production company would have done lots of recce's and gone around the shops beforehand and made a list, but it was genuinely
all
a
on
surprise.
The fly.
Yeah, on the fly. And so the next morning we were, you look at these lists of like, we're going here, here, and here. And you really didn't know what you're going to expect, and a lot of it, you can see it in the camera work where I'm kind of, it is very much following the action, and I think that kept us sharp the next morning. A couple of coffees on the road, and then we were back in it again.
People always say this.
Also, Joe and I were because we had
because we're both bold
and wear glasses. Yeah, no, we are not brothers at all. We're not related. But, we're close. We're very close. Yeah. What's Mark Hughes saying? We have a date for the US trip.
There you go. Do we have a date for the US trip?
Yeah, I'm just taking Gav. No, we don't.
It's going to be a lovely long day.
It's not going to be this next series. It's going to be the series after if we get to do it. But and we will get to do it because everything's the flights are paid for. We have flight vouchers from the Kickstarter that we did. And that's kind of it. We're just waiting on.
Well, unfortunately, we've got variants and all this other stuff that is changing the.
We can't book it again because we booked it last time and then it all went pear-shaped. So we need to make sure that
ride it out for a year.
Yeah,
hopefully
series 2,
2023.
2023, man. If we can get it done in 2023, because I'm so there's new shops popping up there all the time, and I've kept in touch with some of these shops, and there's others that have popped up, and they look so good. I don't know how long. It's going to be like months out there at this rate.
And it's going to be in an RV, so it's going to be. The country's bigger, but also the vehicle's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger.
Yeah, I might be bigger. I hope not. Right,
we'll after we get back from America. There we go. What we got here?
Rachel, Star Wars Grail that you did not find.
Well, you got your Death Star, didn't you? So that's sort of
there's all. Yeah, no, that's not good enough. There's always. I'm never satisfied I don't mean that horribly. People will look at the shop where you've got so much stuff. But then you sell it and it's gone, and then you've got to find another. So I'm never satisfied. That Palitoy Death Star is, I've probably had 50, 60 of them. It's not particularly for me. I mean, although, yes, it's exciting to find out on the show because it's such a cool thing. And it's one of my favourite things. But no, there's so many Star Wars things that I would love that I didn't see, and I would have loved to find. And that's why I think America.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, because there will be stuff. I do want the other Death Star. I've had those before. Yeah, being able to buy some of those that aren't broken because they're very breaky. So yeah,
there's some great Peter Weeks things that we saw.
There was
some very nice things.
I want to get them out of the box. Anyway,
moving on, Daniel. Where's the favourite place we went in the country? I quite like Cornwall.
Cornwall in Scotland.
Yeah.
Basically the furthest away from Leicester we could get. That's bad, isn't it?
The first week, I think, was our favourite week for
the first week was great because we went all through sort of the bottom, and it was pretty. We went through Dorset and that was gorgeous. And then obviously the second week, the third week, wasn't it? It was into week 3. It was the second week. Second week was kind of all Birmingham. We did a bit down in Kent, didn't we? Yeah. And then came up, but it was kind of the same scenery. So, but then we had the beautiful Scotland. So yeah, those were the favourite bits for us.
There we go.
Anything? Timothy.
Anything we regret not buying?
Yeah, there was a few.
Loads.
There were things I wanted literally that Joe I just couldn't stretch Monster.
Stretch Monster.
Yeah.
There were a few times when you stepped out the shop and you got in the van and you were like, "Oh, we should have bought within a matter of minutes."
Why not buy that? There's nothing. I don't think there's anything major where I'm looking at it going. But there are, and that's why I don't particularly like watching the show back more than a couple of times, because you kind of have the first time when you've got to watch it, and then the second time to see what somebody else thinks of it, and then after that, I don't want to watch it again because I find myself getting annoyed because I see in the background the things.
There was a few things that I think you commented on and then saw something else and forgot about.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah,
I say that in one of the episodes. And I said I'll come back to that in a minute because that's great.
I think there's a couple of black hole things.
Yeah,
you mentioned and then
didn't come back. Yeah. So there we go.
There you go, Matt Booker from Fan for Tracks saying a lovely series.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, man. Check out Fan for Tracks, everyone, as well. If you love Star Wars,
if you like Star Wars, get involved.
Is awesome. All your Star Wars news. Will there be a blooper episode?
Well, I think you've seen everything. To be honest, we started putting bloopers after the first couple of episodes. We started putting little Easter eggs at the end of the show for those people that stuck with it all the way to the end.
Yeah,
there is stuff on the cutting room floor, but it does become diminishing returns, and often things are quite long-winded. We had a few running jokes.
Well, we had running jokes that happen behind the scenes.
Yeah. So we met some funny characters, obviously in like some of the bed and breakfasts. And
my gate.
Yeah, and they had their own catchphrases that then became our catchphrases on the road.
But it doesn't translate.
But it doesn't. It's one of those you had to be there, and what we really need is another crew behind me. Filming me and the guys, and then you have another show of stupid stuff. But I think most of the really, really funny stuff is in there.
Yeah. Good stuff.
We'll see. We've got a few there.
I'm just scrolling through them now. You have so many retro stuff. We have a lot.
we have a lot. Yes. How you doing, Lewis? How
Fantastic
are we?
Series. Best buy of the tour. Is that the best buy financially or your favourite buy? From Des.
Well, I think favourite buy I've kind of done.
Yeah. What was the best financially?
The winning one we made the most money out of. Not the V figures.
I just lost money selling them to me.
I don't know. I think what it is, I think the best things that we buy often are, and I say it in episode 12, with the bits boxes, because they're the bit you can if you've already got another bits box. What you tend to forget though is you've already paid good money for that bits box. So put it with that bits box to make then
the turtles that you bought from Cardiff.
They were from Port Talbot.
Port Talbot, rather.
That was great. There was only like 5 or 6 figures in there, really. in that little tub.
But that was
But they
something
all-
I learned. It's like when you showed me, and you showed the camera and you show the audience about the Death Star with the really nice. It's got the really nice
canopy.
turret and canopy
Yeah.
on there, which itself is a piece that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
And it's putting those two things together.
Yeah, I think that because there was some extra bits in the bottom of that box, and then we bought another. If you notice later on, we buy in Plymouth. We go to
Final Frontier.
yes, Plymouth, yeah. Went to Final Frontier and we bought a boxed Turtles thing. Now that wasn't complete. In fact, it was quite beat up. It wasn't right. So I paid good money because there was no bits in it. So with that buy then, and you kind of go, well, I might get that back at the auctions. I'll put it into the auctions and get rid of a load of other stuff that we don't particularly want. But then we'll get the money out of the bits,
Yeah.
and put it together with the other bits, and then the other bits. So they're always the best they're the most fun money spinners because then you're going, well, we paid this much for this, and then but you put it together.
So there you go. It's all about Joe's bits.
I guess it's
Right then, great show. Have you ever come across any Tomy Zords? Zords.
Yeah.
We love Zords as long as we get them boxed and new.
Yeah, Zords are great. In fact, Tim, who works on Saturday, he bought a load of Zords off us the other day. That carrier bag of Zords.
Oh, brilliant.
I just thought, you just asking, you just want to spend an hour trying to take it going, oh, forget it, I'm just going to put them back
Zords
in the bag.
are so bitty, but they are so brilliant.
Yeah, they're amazing toys, but if they're unused, but we always come across Zords.
But they've released the new modern line, which are very good. I bought one.
Which we bought on the show.
And we've got a few of them here still.
Yeah, we bought those.
And
when we were on
they're
the
well
tour.
worth checking out.
So yes to Zords, definitely.
Lots of people saying thanks for the show. Yeah. Oh, it looks very professional.
Thank you. Although that's a bit of a running joke there. In my career, I take that sometimes as an insult because people often say to me, "That looks professional," and it's a word "looks."
Yeah,
you can take that too. It's depending on how
Yeah.
people say it to you. When it's typed down, that's okay. But when people say that looks professional, well, it is. I spent a lot of time on it.
Take on camera.
But yes, that's just a bugbear of mine. A quirk.
Yeah, it looks really good. And
But
that's
thank you. I will take the compliment. Thank you very much.
Thanks for all the comments. Sorry we can't get through them.
Yeah.
Through them all. We're just scrolling down the comments because we're new to this, so keeping it.
Yeah, this is new.
Chatty while we
So
do
is
it.
that-
Oh, there's my dad just popped up.
Hey, up.
Is that 220?
That was Vanessa then.
Yeah.
That's 229 people who've got watching. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hello, 229 people.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
It is. It's very good. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
I could see one. But
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
yeah, this looks interesting. Oh, Matt, do you remember which synth track you used for the V-Haggle showdown?
No, I don't, but I can check it. Obviously, it'll be on the timeline. I use Artlist. It's something that I subscribe to. I think they're great. But I do try and the music is something that I do try and get something that's evocative of either the original adverts or the original TV show that it comes from, or of the era. So I'm glad you've noticed that. But I can find it for you. I'll make a note. Matt Patterson. I should make a note. But it's an Artlist track. Something quite similar to Stranger Things and that kind of.
That's a great question.
I know, this is a good question.
Ed Debenham. If you could do a supermarket sweep, style trolley dash in any of the shops you visited, which would you pick?
Wow. How long do you get? Let's set a time.
It'd have to
How
be one
long?
with no stairs, wouldn't it, for the trolley?
Yeah.
You've got 1 minute.
Oh, that's
Well,
short.
that's
I know, but that's it.
Some of these alleyways are quite short. You wouldn't even get down one of them.
There you go.
Well,
Let's do it. You've got 1 minute.
Okay. Right. So if we're taking it, because what I'm thinking is we're going to be clean up, robbing the place.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I'm not doing that because that thing is that'd be.
But
like,
it's not real. It's
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Joe.
But
We're not
See,
genuinely
I'm thinking of
stealing from
practicalities.
people.
If you do a supermarket sweep
I'm not
with
fully
muscles, they just go straight through. They're so small. You
Through the trolley.
Fall through on the floor. So it's got to be chunky items
Yeah.
or a big flat item that can catch the muscles
Yeah,
on.
they
So
catch the muscles.
I
like a
think
kite first.
just for pure bang for your buck, I'd go Metropolis Toys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the problem
Although
is,
the problem is the cabinets are all locked. So you're like,
Oh, you can't sweep them out.
yeah, but you can't. You'd have to have the cabinet. So
Okay.
So we
The
need a
thing is
mallet. We need to be able to smash the cabinets
Yeah,
as we go
we've got to
by.
completely
You've got to
destroy
wear-
Metropolis.
You've got to wear something to stop the glass from going in your eyes.
nobody just take that bit out. Send it to Chris because I'm not entirely. Chris isn't armed, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is fictitious.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing.
Yeah, it's not. No, so if you're going to do that, it would be Metropolis Toys. If you obviously
For
because
me,
it's just pure, like in a minute,
bang for your buck. Yeah, you'd get stuff.
Get the best stuff.
But for me, I'd do plastic crack. Because I would get so much good stuff in a minute.
And
it's a small shop.
Nerd-based, you'd have to have 2 or 3 trolleys.
See, maybe this
to put stuff in.
Maybe this is a new quiz show we should be doing. We should be doing Toy Sweep or something like that.
Well done, Ed.
You're not doing it in my shop.
We're going to write this down, yeah.
There you go. I'll take it.
The orange at Gabby's so hot. Yeah.
Is there? Yes, there is.
No, you're not allowed to say that. No, it's tea. But I've all got tea, which has gone cold. Question for Matt, a vintage toy rush question.
Yeah, I saw that earlier on.
Oh, did I miss one?
Yeah.
There you go.
We've missed loads, mate.
Yeah.
Question from Matt. Are you concerned they may be demanding divas next year? No, well, the great thing is, I mean, we did. Obviously, you've seen the series. Episode 1, I do think hit the ground running, and it didn't really. You guys didn't really change much throughout the. If anything, we did a lot of takes outside. The first take, the first one, there was about 12 takes of Good Morning.
On it was the first take of the day.
It was always the first take of the day. It was always the most trickiest.
Well, Gavin got his fly undone.
Yeah, which I only put in. I only spotted in the rushes when we went to the 12th episode. But no, I don't. If anything, they've become more down to earth, more humble in front of the camera, and a bit more relaxed. So no, it's been good. I don't think that. I think they're down to earth toy dealers. You know, they've got the feet on the ground.
Well, you know,
Ethan. The show has impacted the vintage toy scene in the UK so far. I wouldn't have thought so.
V figures must have gone up, surely.
Yeah, interesting. I think a few customers have been asking, take the duculars.
Yeah, there's things that like the duculars.
A lot of people have taken the duculars as well.
Yeah, they have. There's not many left. Somebody asked us, "Can I do a trade deal?" Because I know you've got a few. I'm like, no, we haven't got many left.
No,
we bought so many.
Do you want to explain to the American audience what duculars are? Because
it's not going to be my department, is it? Because I didn't.
Gav. Well, we know what Duculars are.
Yeah, Count Duckula. It's a cartoon series voiced by David Jason.
Jason of Only Fools and Horses fame.
Yes.
Another one for the American audience.
And Danger Mouse.
Yes.
They have BBC World BBC
Yeah.
over there. They know David Jason.
Frost.
Darling Buds of May.
You could do a list.
But yeah, it was an animated,
IMDb,
it was a quite a low budget. Was it Cosgrove Hall?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, it was a vampire duck. He was a vegetarian. He had a nanny and a butler.
Yes,
in a big castle.
Yeah,
it was. Even I remember it.
Yeah,
and it was brilliant. But
and
when
we bought these little clip-ons. We bought a load of them.
They've been brilliant.
And
really cool.
They've been flying out.
But no, as regards to the impact of the vintage toy scene in the UK, I hope we've done it positively. I think we have. I mean, certainly that's what was the intention, was to be something positive for everyone to enjoy.
Well, with the Tongosaurus, for example. So some people saw the show and dug out the Tongosauruses. You can say that. But I think also some people have decided, certainly my friends who've probably not watched a lot of stuff that I've made, have gone off into their lofts and they've also said, like, oh, I want to buy another version of that. So I think some people will have become fans again of toys from their youth. That's a good thing because that keeps them going.
Yeah, it's made people go in the lost and dig stuff out. It's made people start buying a few toys. We've noticed that. So yeah, hopefully it's
stirred things up a bit.
Yeah, hopefully. I know people have with the shops have contacted us and said we've actually had people in saying saw it on Toyshop on tour, and we've actually sold them some stuff, and that's what it's all about.
There we go. Hello to the Retro Ghetto with the greatest theme tune on a YouTube channel ever.
That is the greatest theme tune on a YouTube channel.
How many shirts? One for every day of the week. There you go. Answers that question.
Yeah, Gav's got the same outfit, multiples in his wardrobe.
Yeah.
You open his wardrobe, it's the same. It's like a cartoon.
He's like Simon Cowell.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
Oh no.
Hi Lou. They wave disposable nipples. That's a.
We'll come in this one. For an artwork of yourself made of fuzzy felt, stickle bricks.
Fuzzy felt.
I want to see what they can do with stickle bricks.
That's quite a pinhead, though, isn't it? Stickle bricks.
Can you imagine that?
No, fuzzy felt. My mate, Richie, he wanted to get married in a fuzzy felt suit.
Still stick to a board.
Not found his the other side of his fuzzy felt bride.
No, exactly. That's the problem. He's
Yeah. You could make great guns out of stickle bricks. I remember we used to make like rifles and stuff.
Yeah.
Stick them all together.
Well, I was never allowed guns.
No, you can make one. Yeah, multicoloured.
Yeah.
What's
Greetings
this?
from Chicago. Hello, Chicago.
Oh, this is my mum. Gav, that blow up R2D2 chair we took back to Zodiac Toys and popped it the Star Wars figure. Do you know that little R2D2
Yeah.
with one leg and no sticker?
That was the one you swapped.
That was swapped, yeah, for that R2D2 chair. My mum remembers that. That is really cool.
Well done, Gav's mum.
Well, I found out, my mum said that she got my Millennium Falcon from the Palatoy factory shop 2 days before Christmas because, she'd watched the show and she said, "Oh, I remember that," and I didn't even know that until recently.
That's
so
cool.
it's great, these little stories that come out from
Yeah.
people watching the show.
There you go. That's a nice comment. We owned YouTube, and Matt was the unsung hero.
Well, they kept singing. They did keep nodding to it. I did, after a while, I don't think you noticed, but
Well,
the first few episodes, I was in the back seat and then I hid. I did hide down. I was still there, but when we hit roll, I was hiding back there. I thought it looked stupid. Some blokes in the back, earwigging all the conversations.
But it was like, it was because we were so pleased with it because we wanted to do this thing because, one, I'm a sucker for an adventure. If it's an adventure, I will travel anywhere to buy toys. I always have. You know, if somebody tells me there's a toy collection for sale, whichever end of the country, I'll be in my van and on my way. I've got no fears about doing that. So doing that and that excitement, capturing that excitement, that's something we want to do in the future is have that. But it's difficult to do it. You know, I don't know, especially being British, right? You've got that sort of thing of being a little bit, things need to be done a certain way.
Yes.
What has been great has been all the comments we've had from people around the world who've said they might never come to England or they haven't been to England for a long time, or they used to live in England now they've moved away, and they feel like, obviously the lockdown and everything we've had, they feel like they've been with us on this tour and joined us and gone round. And that's a great thing because we've come out of, a time of real uncertainty of everything being shut to all these shops being open again. And it has been able to actually show you them and show you the people that run them and show you the areas that they come from and Britain as we travel around. That's been really, really good. And it's been the comments that have been, for me, when I've been editing every week and you kind of see these, you put the show out there and then you get somebody saying, "Oh, I'm from Australia, I'm from America, or I'm from New Zealand," or whatever. And it's great because you think, "Oh, wow, people are watching," and it makes sense in other countries, and they've seen stuff that they might want to come and visit at some point, and hopefully it helps the shops at the same time.
That's it.
Now we get asked this question all the time. I figured we'd answer it on here.
Oh, modern toys, would you collect? Matt, you'll buy modern toys in a minute.
My wife's watching.
Sorry,
you shouldn't.
They go straight to the office.
You shouldn't.
There's nothing to see here.
You shouldn't collect toys for the future.
No,
I think is the simple answer to that.
Don't ever collect toys as an investment. I hate this term. People use it, investment collectible. I hate that because toys for me are about fun, and it should always be about fun. But all I'd say is, if you are buying for the future and you want to buy something to put away, buy stuff that you like, because then at least you'll enjoy it. And if it doesn't make you any money, you can still go, "Oh, but
I like that."
Yeah, I like that, and I think it's something. If you enjoy it and if you really love it, then somebody else will love it as well. Go with that, but buy the best you can.
Yeah.
If it's loose, make sure it's nice and it's complete, unless it's something stupidly rare. And if it's boxed, try and get the nicest box you can.
That's it. But generally, with modern, you're going to get boxed anyway, aren't you? Boxed examples.
You are, yeah.
But that's the thing. You got to remember, there are a lot of people collecting this stuff now.
Yeah.
So there is still going to be a lot of it out there in the future.
Yeah.
So it won't be as collectible as the vintage
I
stuff.
think those Transformer Reds are quite good because they're not really a toy, but you can get them out of the box easy. You can display them, and then if your wife's coming around, you can put them back in the box ready.
You buy them quick.
So mate told me.
Here's one, because yes, we have an answer for that.
Yeah, we've got some here, Chris.
Send us a message, Chris.
Yeah, we've got a box set. They're not cheap, but they are amazing. But yeah.
There's my dad with an argument.
Wasn't
it was a Spider-Man chair.
Oh, there we go.
It was an R2D2 we swapped it for.
Well, that's a worthwhile exchange. When you said R2D2, was it an R2D2 chair that was assumed before?
Yes.
Because that would have been a lot. I would have wanted the chair. Right,
Who
what else
got there? People, lots coming visitors.
Hi,
Mark
Robert.
Airy's on. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Hello, Robert. How are you? Yes, you've been more than welcome to come and visit
There
us
you
in the
go.
shop.
Why do Star Wars figures fade in colour? Not just Star Wars.
Every toy line.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's lots of toy lines that are even worse than Star Wars for going funny coloured. So things like we actually mentioned it on the show. We went to Nerd Base. We bought a Starcom Star Max bomber. And they're white, and they always go. And you can leave them out of the sunlight. They still can do it. It's amazing. But yeah, So it's not just Star Wars figures; it's every toy line. They do fade if you leave them in the light.
Does it tend to be the white plastic? Is it?
White plastic's the worst for it, but yeah, you can get it with Transformers. You get it with like Scorponok, where he's like nice, vibrant pink and green kind of color, and he goes like a dull purple and dark green. So everything can go off funny coloured. So yeah, it's just unfortunately time.
Are there any remedies for that, or do you just have to leave it?
No,
a lot of people do.
Yeah,
there are methods to get them back, but it doesn't last.
Right.
So
it's best to leave them alone. Then.
Yeah, leave them as they are.
Leave them as they are. For us, it's always leave them as they are. We don't ever do anything like bleaching or anything like that.
I did look on eBay when I've got my Micronaut Commander out. I thought, oh, wonder. But there's a lot of really yellowy
Sophie's
ones.
probably still
really yellow
No,
ones. Yeah.
there's some really yellow. I thought, oh, I'm glad I did keep in the box.
Yeah.
Yellow fronts and white backs. It's been displayed near a window.
Yeah. It's only like the only tan one side. Going on holiday.
Just turn him around, yeah. And a completely yellow one.
What's the weirdest toy in Gav's collection?
No, I don't know. There's so many things
So
in my
much
collection.
weird stuff.
Like I think a recent favourite are the little Cabbage Patch Koosas figures.
But
they're the weirdest looking
it's-
little Cabbage Patch Kid animal
he's
figures.
got this little doll that sits on his computer.
Oh, it's just a little living dead doll.
It's horrible.
Just
And it's
peering
just-
over.
I've had to clear because Gav's computer's normally on here. And I've had to clear his gubbins from all around his computer.
Have a little collection
Yes.
around the
Just a little collection around his computer, and it's just like thinking, oh, this is just that's horribleness. I'm just sweeping it into this box. Oh,
But that was one of the great things. We'd go into a shop, and literally I'd go in the camera. Gav would go one way, and Joe would go another. And I would know that, I'd follow Joe or Gav or whatever, and but they'd have completely different takes on the same shop.
Mm.
They'd be looking at completely different toys,
yeah.
and it's great from a point of view of it being different because you know that even you started off with what were you looking? Obviously looking for Velma, muscles and stuff like that, but then there's the Cabbage Patch stuff.
Yeah.
There was all sorts of things that Gav was finding that I've never seen.
Yeah.
Never
And you
seen
wouldn't want to see again. No, I mean
there were some duff ones, yeah.
but nobody.
There was nothing duff.
You'd be the judge of that. But no, I think your taste, and also because I now look for that stuff as well, and I think quite a few other
A couple of people have said it's opened their eyes to
that stuff.
some
That's
things.
actually really cool. So Gav's cursing himself a little bit.
Yeah, because now
So,
they're all going to get
yeah.
swooped up before I get them. Jay, favourite thing we both bought? I think it is that Cabbage Patch radio that Matt just mentioned.
Cabbage Patch radio.
So cool. I
But for
love
me, it wasn't the thing that I bought and kept. I haven't bought really much and kept it apart from the Obelix. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think. I'll think about that and get back to you. I'm sure there's a couple of bits on me. So, I've got a little H fan. Again, that was a gift though. I like a little H fan from Acme Toys that Pete gifted me.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. It's got a missing door, but I don't care. It's really cute. So that as well will be in there.
See, he always asks this question.
How much is a Sigma C3PO?
Not for sale.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, the other one?
No tape, Spencer.
No, it's not for sale. Anyway, what else
One of the
we got?
greatest items we've got in the shop is the vintage Sigma
It's one of my favourite
C3PO
items.
tape dispenser because it's so bizarre.
There's not much that isn't for sale in the shop, but that's one of the
That's one of the
items that
things,
isn't for sale.
yeah.
Unless we get another one. There we go.
There was one in the Peter Weeks episode as well. If you want to see what it looks
Yes.
Greedo 888, I love that question. Why
Yeah. There we go then.
a brick and mortar shop versus online? Does everyone work from
Ooh.
home in their pajamas not make jealous? Me and Gav often wear pajamas. How do you know?
Yes.
We're wearing pajamas now.
Yeah.
In fact, I did come in.
I have this in pajama form.
It
in
was-
fact.
It's printed. It looks like a suit.
Yeah.
It's actually,
I'm actually in my pajamas now.
Yeah, it's to be honest with you, I want to have a shop because I always wanted a shop. Because Chris from Metropolis taught me a lot at the start, and he said you need to get a shop because to buy toys, the hardest thing if you go around the groups and you look around the groups, one, you end up in a battle with the same people buying the same stuff, and that's cool. And those people that are doing that, they're out at the car booths and doing stuff like that, and having to work really hard at it. Having the shop, it's just somewhere I can be where I've done the hard yards of doing the car boot sales and I've done the hard yards around the toy fairs. But I love being in my shop. I love looking at my toys and it gives me a lot of joy. And also seeing my customers.
And I think you get live reactions to toys in
live
the shop.
like
You
real-time
see the
joy.
real joy.
Yeah.
But I imagine it is good to befriend. If you're a collector, it is good to befriend your local toy shop because, like you've said, you'll go out and you'll see stuff and you have a customer in mind, and it saves you having to do all the looking. Because if you link up with a good toy shop that's constantly selling and buying stuff, then if they have you in mind, they'll keep an eye out for things that they know that you've got in your collection, need in your collection, and it saves you doing the legwork.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that. I've done working from home. And I can assure you, for everyone that does do it from home,
I've done
it's
it.
flipping horrible, and it's really hard.
The doorbell and the phone keeps going all the time.
Yeah,
and it's nothing to do with work.
But it's fine. It's fine in stock. I mean, having done before I had my shop, I did from 2005, 100% to 2008 with no shop, and it was hard. I was out every day. I was working, trying to find toys. I wasn't just sitting there clicking online and buying stuff off eBay because that was where my main market was. So no, it's really hard. So that's why those guys that do that, I've got a lot of respect for. But yeah, so that's why we want a shop because it's amazing. Loving a shop.
There you go. Are we being asked for our autographs now?
We have.
Yes. Is Charlie watching? If Charlie is watching,
yeah. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
We've signed a few things, but yeah, it's
we're not into it really.
Yeah,
it's nice though.
I'm lying. I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel a bit of a fraud. Which and Gav's very good at it. And no, we're quite happy to do anything that anybody sort of wants with photos and stuff like that's cool. It's really nice, but
it's 15 minutes of fame. It'll be
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's not proper because there's the toy community. We're a relatively small bunch, guys. Let's face it.
Yeah.
And but it's nice that people enjoy. I mean, that's the main thing. People enjoyed it, and if they want to,
that's what it's really about.
Yeah.
What's this one? Did you buy a toy for yourself, Matt? You did actually get some things.
Yeah, we bought him some toys.
I did. I was given a lot. Well, I tried to buy, but these guys are very generous. I suddenly got into Muppet toys. I think it's because of the whole showbiz thing. They're putting on a show. They've got a clapperboard and they've got all this kind of stuff. I had the newsreader, which was great. What else did I buy when I was around? There's a couple of things that I looked at and I did like, and then I was like, "Whoa, that's expensive." But yeah, it has reinvigorated my my love of toys. Yeah, but I can't say too much because people might be watching. But yeah, my office has now got some extra bits and bobs in there. Yeah, but Muppets has been the thing. Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, what's the most money you spent?
What's the most money you spent on one item? Do you think?
I don't know.
Whatever on the show.
On a toy.
Yeah. I would assume it's about a toy. You're not be asking generally.
No.
Bought a house.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't mean a toy we bought on the show or a toy we bought.
The most expensive thing on the show would have been, was it the Black Star?
Black Star, I think. Oh no,
maybe
Death Star was around that price as well.
Oh yeah, there was a few
bit of a wriggle
items, wasn't there?
Yeah, so I don't know.
In the shop,
oof.
On one thing though, it doesn't really often happen with one item. It's usually a collection of high-end items.
Yeah,
that makes it.
We a couple of grand, I think, on a Master of the Universe twin pack. That was probably it with the cat and the figure. That was probably the most expensive thing I've bought. Yeah, I bought an sealed Optimus. That wasn't far off that. Tomosaurus wasn't far off that.
Yeah,
fairly recent ones. So yeah, a couple of grand I would have thought. It's probably the max.
Do we think the toy collecting community, / industry, is increasing in the UK or waning?
It's increasing.
I would say increasing as well. Actually, just looking at everything that's popping up.
Yeah, it's increasing. There's more people doing it.
Yeah,
which is great, and there's more people buying it, which is also good.
This might be not controversial, but do you think lockdown has actually boosted people's interest in
100%? Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's everything. Everybody says, why? I mean, somebody asked the other day, one of the questions that people asked. We've got some supplementary questions that people had asked before, and one of them was like, why have wrestlers gone up so much in price, or why has this tournament gone up in price? It's not just those lines; it's just everything. Everything has gone up in price with regards to the vintage toys. There isn't much that's really stayed the same or dropped off. I'd argue Diecast probably has, apart from Matchbox. But generally, that everything else is on the way up, or it's pretty solid.
Here's a question: would you like to expand in the future?
What, physically? Or?
Yeah.
I'm already there, youth. I'm already there.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, that IBS. I'm sorry.
No.
Is that bang?
Back the lights.
No, not really. We have got no plans to do anything else other than have fun and sell toys from our little shop. And that's kind of where we're at. I don't want to expand the business as such.
You could say doing a TV show is kind of expanding in one.
Yeah, but I don't want to do
merchandise.
Merchandise
Is kind of expanding.
We've got merchandise, so we've got
merchandise.
Mugs. So you can get your mug, and it's
T-shirts. They're not very lit, but there are T-shirts.
There are T-shirts.
There.
And then we've got the other side is the Leicester Toyshop.
Yes, we've got T-shirts with the logos and stuff. So yeah,
so we kind of
expanding in a way, but not the shop.
No,
the
virtually
shop's nice how it is. We never have enough space for all the toys.
Look at that.
There's a T-shirt.
There you go with a little
Toyshop
man on it.
We've got a few other designs as well. You can get them in store or online through our Facebook page. Send us a message. We'll send you all the details. And no, we have no. I don't want to expand because we're busy enough anyway.
Is full-time or day jobs? No, this is the
it.
job.
We couldn't.
I have my
you have your
job.
your job, your proper job of being an artist.
Yeah,
Gav does.
And I have a day job which is filmmaking for other companies.
But no, this is my sort of full time. Ironically, I'm going part time from next week because I have a poorly young son, so I need to be around a bit more. But I'll still be working. I'll still be out buying and stuff like that. But regardless of shops, you wouldn't get, honestly, every day is mental. Every day we spend absolutely you work like you and James at the moment. They've been working the last 2 or 3 weeks. Have just been every day.
James, especially in that basement.
James has done so much hard work. So yeah, we're all full time apart from me, or we're going part time. But yeah,
and it is difficult to film in the shop when we do the shop tours.
Yeah.
Because people have to get in. We're trying to do the videos.
Yeah, we have to close for basically a morning. We get in a bit earlier and try and get it all done. It's not as
straightforward as it would make it look.
No, it's not. I mean, like we have got a lot. I mean, like tomorrow we've got a load of figures. We've got a load of Black Series and a load of Marvel and DC.
I'm looking
figures.
forward to that actually.
It is good, but all the accessories in the back.
Oh, no.
I haven't told you that. So it's going to be a crazy day tomorrow.
Here we go. So, how big are your suitcase going to be? As big as we can actually allow.
Yeah, the suitcases. We're not going to be using suitcases to ship stuff back. That's a really good question, actually. Sorry, but no, we won't be using. We'll have to ship them back. One of the proper.
Hi, wife, by the way.
Proper thing. So yeah.
So I'm away again.
Did you buy anything from the most southerly toy shop?
No, I don't believe we did.
Nope. No, we didn't.
Moving on. Empire Toys is in. There you go. Congrats on the series. Fun to watch. And thanks for coming on the live stream. Check these guys out. They're awesome.
Yeah, Empire Toys 138 on the Toy Division lives that they do. It's really good fun. You'll enjoy them for that. What's the most you paid for a private collection? About 18 grand. 18 grand. 18 large, mate. Yeah. And that was, let me tell you, getting that sort of money together is not like we've got that money sitting around. That is sort of like
that money's going. It's like, right,
how are we going to find this?
Sell some stuff. Get on the group.
Do this, do that. Sell this, do that.
Yeah.
And get like a PayPal loan and
you'd
have to make really it work it to get it. But then you get it in.
In the long run, it works.
In the long run, it pays off. Yeah, it's a bit hairy though. Oh man, does make you clench.
This happens all the time.
Yes,
people have preconceived ideas because they've looked on eBay at what other people are trying to sell things at.
There's quite a few scams, like Beanie Babies was the most common one that we get asked about. People have got Princess Diana Beanie Baby because the Daily Mail have run an irresponsible story saying about they're worth this much, and they really are. And there is a really good thing on one of the Beanie Babies forums about it. And Vectis run a standard reply, and we've got a standard reply as well, which is like just very kindly letting people down that it's worth £1, not £2,000 worth, I think.
So it does happen, but we kind of we like to sort of educate people as to why their stuff's not worth what they've been told sometimes.
Yeah, we've got a funny story about that.
Also, it's like it's not just a thing, is it? Is it in a box? Has it been opened? It's not just the
things. Yeah.
Well, people will often hear people outside, and Rain Falcons worth £5 because they've seen it on something, and it's like, no, but I think there's people who've tried. We've had people bring us stuff like somebody brought us a double telescoping lightsaber Ben, and I was immediately like going,
Yeah.
this doesn't seem right. And yeah, that was kind of like, it was repro obviously, but they thought they'd got like something great, and that happens quite a lot, to be honest with you. So yeah,
I guess. I like this. How do you take your tea?
How do you take your tea? Matters. Pocket sugars.
White one sugar, and now these days I've noticed that you ask for sugar, you don't get it. So I snaffle the sugars away and have these pocket sugars and stirrers. So that you take your tea. Thank you. It's not got sugar in it. You can put your own in. Stir it up.
Yeah, I'm no sugar and milk.
Yeah, a tiny bit of milk and a sweetener for me. Yeah.
Good question.
That's good because people can bring us tea.
Yeah, we can. I've got a badge that says white one sugar that I do sometimes.
Do you have a Micronauts section in the shop? We have got a few Micronauts in at the minute.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've got some nice shop stock.
But they haven't got a commander like mine.
We've not got that one. No, not at the moment.
And I need a fist now because the other one's gone across the room. So.
Yeah, but it's fine. If I keep sniffling and coughing, I've had my 3rd jab today, so I'm feeling a bit ropey. So I'm a little bit like, ugh. So, but I'm really trying to make the effort for you guys.
Yeah, he's all right.
So, yeah.
What would you do if you got a chance to get hold of a rocket fire and Boba Fett?
I've been there and done that, mate. So I had the chance to buy one back when the market price was about $3,500 years ago, and I had the chance to buy one for about $2,000. And I was, bear in mind, I had a market stall. I did not have $2,000. What I had was about £600 and a dream. So I kind of offered him. He'd been offered off another reputable dealer. Had been offered quite a large amount of money. And then I matched that offer and said I'd do an extra sort of tenner or something. And it was like a £1,500 offer or something like that. I can't remember. But it was money that I didn't have. And he said no, and I was quite relieved. And then he walked away and then sold it to the other dealer who sold it for $5,000. But he was quite a pricey dealer, bless him. So yeah.
Have you ever seen it fire?
No, actually, no.
But that's what I'm interested in. Is what the trajectory is.
Well, that's all that we're interested in. It's not an 18-foot squirt, no.
Obviously, how far will it be able to scare the cat? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that deal not coming off was kind of like it allowed me money to spend on other things, but it was like I had a week of just panicking. So yeah.
So, what do we think of modern toy lines like NECA, McFarlane, Marvel Legends, etc.? Now, I think what we have here, they're not really made as toys.
No.
I like them. They're like really great detailed figures. You can pose them up. You can have a little play with them, but they're not made to, line up and have a battle with. They're not made for kids. They're fantastic figures. The new Frankenstein, I've just recently got the new Frankenstein, Universal Monsters one. It's got 3 different heads. It looks really like
amazing. Yeah.
The details
can't play with
are fantastic. But
well,
yes, it's for going on a shelf, basically.
We were talking about A-Team earlier on, the A-Team figures, which I was looking in the cabinet, and face looks exactly the same as Howling Mad Murdoch.
Yeah.
The same face. But that's kind of where, now they've gone, so things look so detailed, so great. But which was better when, you kind of had to imagine you've got this big, wide wardrobe of a figure compared to these ones now that are actually really, really detailed, look exactly like them, but they're not really toys. They're not that robust.
No, they're not made to play with. There you go. Toys or cars, Joe?
Oh, man. Toys, but cars I love, and I love old Citroens. So dream car for me, like we're talking now, the problem is, this is getting really nerdy, so I can't do it. But basically, anything weird Citroen, anything with bonkers suspension and underpowered and breaks down a lot, that sort of thing is my sort of cup of tea. A Panhard, actually, something weird like that.
A Panhard, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bird. Soph.
Matt's brother-in-law, who is a surgeon, can't work out how to ask a question himself. But he'd like to know.
This man's a surgeon.
He's a surgeon. Handwriting is terrible. If he'll be seeing more of Matt in front of the camera in the next series.
I think it's difficult. I'd like to see more of Matt.
We'd like to see.
Well, when we started, when we were doing the pre-production chats, which we have over a nice big breakfast sometimes, these guys wanted me to be in a lot more of the discussions. But obviously, from a point of view, technically, it's so hard to film something, get everything done in the end of the day, and also being it. As soon as you go in front of the camera, obviously you just can't. You just end up shooting a lot of stuff that you're probably not going to use. But I'm there, and I'm often, you hear my disembodied voice. I do shape things every now and again. You'll hear me kind of take things a different direction. But it is difficult, and it's kind of thing that you would need probably another camera person.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm operating 4, sometimes 5 cameras, and you've got your hands full doing that. And also, I think it's a bit distracting. I noticed in the first couple of episodes, I was visible in the back seat of the van, and I thought it was distracting when I was watching the rushes back and I was copying it across. So I
we
hiding,
yeah,
try not to be in the shots.
We try and keep. I mean, I'd like to see Matt more in the show, definitely. But it's really hard when you've done it, you actually see. And I think Jay and Tim came with us too when we did the Stafford one before, and they both said it's like you don't realise what goes on, and that was only like sort of half the setup, really. So seeing all the equipment and how it has to work and make sure it's there's a lot more to it than perhaps we think. So it would be hard to do, I think, everything.
Yeah, but there might be. We'll probably put more cameos and I'll become more of a character, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so.
Things like this, you kind of know who's behind the scenes.
Yeah, there we go. Biggest toy buy mistake.
Oh.
Or buying or selling, actually.
Yeah, Tongosaurus for 35 quid. Selling that boxed back on the market years ago. Not buying that. Boba Fett was probably a bad one, but at the same time, it was quite good because it allowed me to buy an amazing collection.
Yeah, I don't think that was a bad
so it wasn't really but you look back on it and go, if I kept it, it'd be worth 50 grand.
It's a good story though to even have seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think buying, I've made a few errors where I bought things for more money. But I think it's all context. When I remember selling something that was worth £80 for £20 when I had no money, and I was gutted all day because that 80 quid would have meant a lot of money, but the £20 was sort of it's just it's all relative. So but I think it's a rather boring answer, that, isn't it? Sorry.
There we go. It was nice to see us visit Castle Comics. Castle Comics was great, and it was it was a last minute addition.
It was, yeah.
Because we had someone let us down, hadn't we? And we basically needed somewhere.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the gentleman that couldn't do it on the day, he put us in touch with Castle Comics, which was good of him. And we got stuff going on.
And to be fair, I mean, we literally descended on them with not much notice.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
And they were great.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good. And it was, again, really lucky end to the series because some great stuff in there. You had boxes of bits and things were flying left, right and centre. But as you said before, Scotland doesn't have a lot of actual toy shops.
No,
there's lots of toys there, but they're not necessarily in shops.
Yeah.
So it'd be great if some more opened up.
I really would.
Or if anybody knows of any places we can visit,
please let us
we
know.
need any excuse to go back to Scotland.
Yeah. And if you are opening a shop or you're thinking about it and you want advice, come talk to us. We'll tell you how not to do it because we've made the mistakes already. So it's quite nice to sort of like, so you don't have to make the same mistakes that we've done.
Yeah.
Because there are times where it's got a bit hairy, So
the V figures was a standout moment out of all the episodes. Gav, will I ever sell them? No. Is the answer to that.
Really?
I will never sell them. I don't sell any of my things. If I buy something for myself, that's it. That's mine.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He doesn't ever sell
that stops with me.
Because I've heard him say in the
I
shop,
buy.
there's always a price in the shop, but his own collection, no?
Yeah, it's different.
Would you ever see? What are the chances of seeing those again?
Oh, never. I don't think, I've never seen them before.
No.
And I look out for V stuff. So,
I did go and watch episode 1 again after, because I remember seeing it as a kid. I shouldn't have, I was a bit too young. But my mum's fault was she was watching. Shouldn't let me stay up to watch it. Never had a telly.
Yeah. I think my mum used to video it for me.
No, I stayed.
That's how I knew it. But that episode, though, that old haggling moment.
Yeah,
that was great.
You were schooled a little bit there.
Yeah, I was schooled a bit. It was like I knew Gav wanted them, so it left me in a kind of tricky position because it was kind of. And other people have gone, "We should have bought them all. That was a bargain." Or then there's other things.
But I didn't know that.
I knew where they. I knew where they come from.
I didn't know, and it was only. I didn't know you were doing that. But for me,
I knew where they'd come from. I knew Gav wanted those figures, and I knew I was going to the place where they came from. I was hoping there was going to be more there. So I was well aware of that sort of. And I didn't want to kind of. Because I knew they were going to be, because they weren't perfect. They had issues.
Yeah, they had
all
some
have
cracks,
issues. Yeah. But I have lots of regret. I think that's a regret in the series of not buying. Because that Volkswagen van as well.
Those vehicles were amazing. The card art on there.
They were rubbish, but brilliant.
Oh, yeah. And if I'd have had money, they would have been in my collection. But
Yeah.
You know, there's always limits.
We'll be at the NEC. Somebody's asked about the NEC on the 27th. Yes, we'll be there. We'll be locked and loaded with loads and loads of
lots of die-cast
and tap. We won't be doing anything proper wise. We won't be bringing anything nice, will we? Just die-cast.
Just yes.
Well, I don't think we will anyway.
Yeah. I like Seb's question there as well. Any plans for merch with 18-foot square written on?
Definitely not.
What about an 18-foot scarf with 18-foot squirting on it? It's Doctor Who fans, maybe.
No, definitely not. It's real niche. No, definitely not. Will you ever do an online shop? We haven't got time.
No.
Being quite frank, if we had someone else perhaps doing that, then maybe one day.
I mean, we've got our Facebook sales page that we throw things up there now and again.
But it's just having an online shop and having all the space to keep it. There's a lot to it, and all the photos and everything like that. And it's kind of, we like the personal touch, and we selling stuff isn't a problem. It's buying stuff that's the problem.
Yeah,
we can sell as much stuff as we want to sell, but it's buying that's the one.
Don't forget to pick that missile up, Matt. Don't worry. I'll go and do it now, actually.
There you go. People chatting amongst themselves there.
What's the story about not having a TV? Got Marco there.
There you go.
It's the fist.
Because not everyone has probably heard that actually.
Yeah, so I didn't have
catchphrase.
I didn't have a TV when I was a kid. It's that one there. Gav's very old man. He can't see anymore. Basically, I didn't have a television because basically my mum kept saying to me, if you go downstairs and keep watching Spider-Man in your pajamas, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, at like 6 o'clock in the morning, whenever Channel 4 or whatever it was came on, then she would basically take the television off. Well, the television would go away. And literally, it was in the days when you hired a television. So my mum followed through on that promise. I kept so a man turned up in a HA little van, and it went off in the back of the van.
Off to radio rental.
Yeah, and then I got a TV when I was about 14. It was Reliance Electrical, actually. When I was about 14, I got a TV, and the first thing we got was a black and white telly with a turny dial. So it only worked on 3 channels. Like, couldn't find the 4th one.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like sort of become a safe breaker in order to turn the channel.
And you could go too far.
Yeah.
And you were like, you got no channels.
Oh, yeah. No channels.
What's that?
Mystery.
Go back.
You don't know how good you've got it, kid.
And you don't know how far you've gone. How far are we into the ether? So sometimes we're there for ages. Then
It'll come back around again, maybe.
Yeah.
No TV guides.
Yeah, no. So there was that. And then we had, we had a colour television that somebody gave us, and we got it and we put it on. Snooker was all the rage, back then. And we put the TV on. I remember going to my dad. Oh, look at it, great in colour, isn't it? And like literally, the tube went bang. And if the tube goes on one of these old tellies, it was basically just green screen. So we sat there watching green screen snooker. It was a very sad end for that television. So yeah.
So Toyshop on tour Japan, I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
No.
If we can get some funding, let's do it.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know what might happen.
Yeah. Episode 3 was Troy Hogg's favourite. We went to the Masters. It was at Peter Weeks.
It was Peter Weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. It was amazing. You kept me going while bedridden. Oh, that was some Mark Spriggs. Something like that one.
There you go. That looks like a nice comment.
Oh, that's great, mate.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks, Mark. That's good, man. That's what we're here for, hopefully.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, that's
Daniel Perry.
We will be doing that. We will be doing our collector focus sections in the as part of the Toyshop on Tour brand, if you can call it that. We'll be going to see people with amazing collections of toys, and going to see, and hopefully if we can buy a few things. Great. But that's something we're on the way.
Yeah, I have the answer to this one. Yes, because it was the Dennis Fisher Stretch Monster toy I had as a child, but can't get again. See, I could have had it, but it would have cost me £1,000.
Yeah,
and that was
too much
for me. Yeah,
there's a Dukes of Hazzard car they made. It was plastic. It was really cheap. It wasn't the Mego one, the 3 3/4 inch one, but it's very similar to that. But it had like a longer back end. I can't explain it. I think it was a knockoff one. And I've never seen it. I had that as a kid, and I would love to buy that again. But I need to find out what it is, and I still don't know. This is what every day is a school day. Every day we find out something new, but I haven't found out about that yet.
See, for me as a kid, it was either the AT-AT or the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
So I had the Millennium Falcon, never had the AT-AT. I don't actually want to own. Just the fact that it was the one.
Yeah, the one that got away.
It was a choice, and I'm happy that I made that choice. But it's nice that my cousin had the AT-AT, I had the Millennium Falcon. It's just nice that when we got together, we could play together, and he had, one of the other. It's nice.
All my guns got sawed off all my ships, so I had no. So the Falcon was all right because you couldn't. They're all on the top.
Did you ever used to sit on an AT-AT? Pretend it was like a robot.
I was a large child.
Horse.
So yeah.
Or frighten your pets with it.
When does the pre-order start for Joe, Matt, Gav, and Matt? I'd be the deluxe.
Yeah, you'd be the big pack.
So do I get
a normal figure?
Detachable camera. And,
yeah.
What would our special move be?
Might just sat down.
You could be able to just jump in the van really quick.
I'd be able to get in the van really quick.
That'd be great on a van.
I'd have a selection of interchangeable outfits.
Yeah. Just same outfit.
Yeah.
I'd be able to shin up a loft quite surprisingly quick for a larger man. That'd be kind of my special move.
Would the van be able to transform? Could it have guns and stuff on it?
Yeah, it's like mass.
Like sort of just water gun.
Yeah, like bulletproof and stuff. Yeah, great.
All the shooting that goes on.
How many retakes do we have to do each episode? Not too many, was it?
It was normally, like Gav said, called it. It was normally the first one of the day seemed to be, the intro thing seemed to take the most. It was probably about 4 or 5 takes on most of those. The first one was about 10 takes, and they'd often get the giggles. Like obviously you saw the Ghoulies one, the Groovy Ghoulies. What were they called?
No, it was the Spitball, wasn't it?
No, you're the knockoff one.
The Wacky Ghoulies.
Wacky Ghoulies.
Yeah.
There was a TV show called
sniggering at the back on that one.
Yeah, but it's why you said them. Look at my Ghoulies. Have you got a shot of my Ghoulies?
There's Matt giggling behind the camera, making me laugh.
It wasn't.
It was the end of the day, though. At the end of the day, we were quite tired, and someone's telling you to get a shot of the Ghoulies. You'd laugh, wouldn't you, in that situation after you've been filming all day? So no.
Yeah, no, it's kind of
But it is a nice. It is a nice antidote to doing something that's quite dry, and it's nice that the fun is also on screen as well as.
Because it wasn't. We laughed an awful lot. I've been crying, laughing, and it was really fun.
Even simple things like having to prop open a toy shop door. There was comedy in that.
Middle of the door.
Middle of the door.
The cob and pee.
Yeah.
But there's all these little in-jokes. We'll gladly tell you the things. But
I like the idea of this.
It's coming up a spin-off series called Tim and his Box of Tat. Because that's all. Tim's tat is just.
Well, that could be. Doesn't have to be a spin-off series. It could be like an advert,
section,
a break away,
tat.
And each week you get that as a feature.
What have you got today, Tim? Just like a little thing. That'd be great, actually.
Tat. What's in your hat? It could be like fetch it off. Like what's the end of the stick?
What's on the tat?
Yeah, what's on the tat?
Yeah, there you go. That's
what's in the tat?
We're spitballing now, guys. We're spitballing.
Good question.
See what happens.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, lots of people have enjoyed it, which is good.
Thanks very much for all your comments. All the love, guys. Neil from Plastic Crack. Thanks very much, mate. Yes. You set your alarm more now, Gav. Yeah.
You need that. The Castle Grayskull clock alarm. That'd be great.
That cuckoo clock.
Are you guys related? No, none of us are related.
None of us are related.
No.
Did everything break in transit on the way back?
My. Oh, you didn't see it on the show, actually. I bought this very brittle plastic Batman sign, and as soon as we got it out of the shop, it was like, oh, that was a mistake, wasn't it? And we had another nearly week of filming.
Yeah, we have lost things as well. There's things that we've kind of gone, oh, you bought that as well. You forget because you bought so much because you didn't see it all on screen, and you kind of go, well, I bought that as well. Where is it? I don't know. So one day we'll find it. It's in the basement or somewhere. One of those.
My dad asking if there's any lump in the throat times.
Well, the
Zords thing.
And also we had some sad news while we were out there as well. So for both Matt and me and Gav because of a customer, and Matt for his friend. So we were going through a bit of a sort of, it was a bit.
And that was 2 days quite close to each other.
Yeah. Oh, Lauren, there, I'm miles behind, but you're very welcome for my for your cookies. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Thanks, Henry. So there's loads of good toy channels. Hunting Nostalgia, we really like Nick from Hunting Nostalgia. He's really enthusiastic. Cameron Macaulay, are you planning a European tour? Yes, that's kind of something that we're going through. Sort of, maybe, but it won't be like this.
Okay,
Hogan's piano.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, that's very rare.
Joe's
With his
Joe's repeating joke.
I know.
Matt
say
could
the
talk
same
about the editing there.
Yeah, poor Matt has to sit through my repeating jokes.
No, it's great, but Joe tends to do the same joke. They're kind of different intonations. I get to pick which one's got the best timing.
And that's the kindest Matt has ever said that.
I've only had to edit that 14,000 times. Yeah,
But a bit of a throwback. Sorry to talk about it because I'm not a big toy collector, but getting into it. But I have ordered the new Big Daddy that's come out, the new English wrestler. So off the back of the Hulk Hogan comment. But yeah, I've pre-ordered that. Looks quite good.
I do say little things. So when I'm getting into right,
beginning of every film, right.
So I cut those off, right, and then he'll say what he's wanted to say. Yeah, it's a good one.
But it is the same. I know they do have to put up with a lot because I am a massive pain in the backside generally. So they're blessed and they're great.
No, he's not.
Oh, this is good to see. Not a toy collector, but love the show.
Is there a market?
But again, we answered this earlier.
We did answer this earlier, but yes, amazing, and we want to buy more, but it's hard finding them. We want to buy more toys for girls, but yeah.
Lots of people asking about the US.
Toys on tour, US and Europe. Yes, we definitely want to be there. What are your opinions on digital collectibles?
Now this is interesting.
I have no idea.
I don't know what this is.
The worst person with technology. You should know.
It's
about technology.
It'd be hard.
I tell you what they do now. They do things. Yeah, it would be very hard, wouldn't it? We're all sat behind a little screen. They do a thing now where they send you something you can 3D print yourself, and there's like subscriptions for the action figures and miniatures and things.
Well, mine already pre-made,
which is they're just taking the work out of it for themselves. That might not be what that's all about.
No.
Yeah,
but that is something that happened.
We'll have to look into it.
We don't.
We'll have to look it up.
We'll find it. Well, the others will find out and then tell me what.
Anything we bought that was too big to fit in the van? No, because we were well aware of the size. Unfortunately,
no. That
Death Star's quite a big, delicate item.
Yeah,
on the back of a big van.
It was good that it was on the final day of that
around.
week, really, because it wouldn't have survived in the van. I don't think.
It's amazing they survived this long, anyway.
Yeah.
We still have decomposed humanoid. I think we do, don't we?
We do. We've got somebody else in the queue for it first, though, who's messaged us today.
Do you know these, Joe? Mangalore toys?
I probably know by sight.
Yes.
Not off the top of my head. No.
Disappointments in the 80s. Sounds good, though. Sounds promising.
Disappointments in the 80s. That sounds like my sort of cup of tea all over it.
What's this? This looks good.
Liam, do you have any partner older than you there for making you a toy?
No.
I do.
I read that wrong.
You did, didn't
yeah,
you?
I do as well, actually.
I do, so yeah.
And yeah, she keeps calling us Toy Boys on Tour.
Right,
well,
which I.
It's a different show. It'd be a late night.
Yeah.
No, my wife's younger than me. Yeah, by 9 years.
But you should never ask a lady her age. You should know this.
Yeah.
So, any plans to do collectors? Yes, we've done that. Covering the best genres. Ooh. Could you do genre?
I don't think we could do genre. It's too much. So, speaking of music, where can I hear the original Rival Flavor? On SoundCloud. We'll be on. We're going to put it on Spotify fairly soon. It's from a band called The Mail of the Brides that I was part of, and it's on SoundCloud. So if you put in The Mail of the Brides, The Mail, MAIL, don't put the other thing into Google, otherwise you'll get all sorts. But Mail of the Bride, you will get all sorts anyway. And The Mail of the Brides into SoundCloud, it's the one from Derby. So yeah, and you'll find it on there. Which I've been asked for most since the show by customers.
Maybe the Duculars.
The Duculars, the V stuff, any of the iconic moments I think from the series. If we can call it iconic, get us.
Yeah, iconic.
The moments that people remember tend to be the Black Star gift set, the Duculars, the V. I think quite a few people have asked about the Transformers sort of tubes as well. They've been They've been quite a So
have we been busier since the show?
Not this week.
No. But in a way, for buying, I think
definitely.
we've had more people contact us.
More people contact us online, but I think it's
online. Weirdly, it has definitely picked up a little bit more.
Leicester Toyshop locked in your shop.
I know. I don't know what that's about.
What's that?
Someone's done a weird fake account.
Yeah,
for a joke.
A weird fake account. That. Delete that because it makes it look bad. And if you're going to do it, spell Leicester right, you melon.
What was this one? Love the show. Oh, there we go.
We're about an hour behind the questions now. Aren't
We are. We're well behind. We're gonna wrap this up
End
in about 15 minutes because basically Gav's got to get a train.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what do you all like for Christmas? Well, I don't celebrate Christmas,
No.
but these two will answer that.
Something weird.
World peace. That's what I'd
There
like.
you
go.
There you go.
Shut up, Yoda.
That'd be weird.
Do the Groundhog Day. That's
Yeah.
what he asked for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does. I have seen that film. Everyone.
Hey,
That
Joe's
film
seen
I
the
have actually
film.
seen.
Terrorhawks was big in the UK. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Can't get any stuff, but yeah.
yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yes,
Visionaries,
we've got some
oh, okay.
visionaries in at the moment.
We have just
it's
behind
great.
us in the shadowy boxes where my
Yeah.
hand is now. There's a dagger assault there and a number of other vehicles as well.
Best toys based on film or TV series.
Star Wars.
All the big
Star
names.
Wars.
Star
No,
Wars,
Star Wars.
He-Man, Transformers.
Star Wars. Although I don't collect them.
But
Not anymore.
But what
It's
about
brutal.
the
No,
James,
me either.
what
Same.
about the James
Yeah.
Bond car? That's
Love
gonna be.
James Bond car's a great
Yes.
little
It's a great toy,
die-cast
but it's
vehicle.
straight to what it's on its own. But as a
I was
range,
looking at the Playmobil one recently. It popped up, and that was quite interesting.
Would we
Playmobil
consider a
James Bond.
Kickstarter? We have done a Kickstarter for the US tour,
yeah, we did. Yeah,
and
we
the
did.
money has been spent on the flights and things, as we said.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've already done that, and we're not doing it again unless we really have to, and I'd rather not. So yeah, and speaking of that, t-shirts are going to be ready in the next week or two, aren't they?
Yes, they're actually pretty much good to go now. So
Right, so there we go.
Yeah.
So they'll be with you at some point very soon.
there you go.
Thank you, everybody that's asked the question. Anyway. We are
Yeah.
going to scoot through, but
Yes.
sorry if we haven't managed
Yeah.
to.
If we scoot through some questions, John Morgan, hi John, hope you're well, mate.
All right, John.
Do you collect any custom toys?
Let's not talk about
No, not really.
that.
Well, yeah.
there was a disastrous episode with that.
Yeah. Others, yeah. We don't talk. We will cover custom toys because
Yeah.
yes, I bought an amazing custom item of something I've wanted for a while, and
Custom toys could be an episode in itself.
Broke
We
it.
could do a
Yes.
thing, you know, and
he broke it basically.
bring that in.
But we'll
It was-
tell you
it
about
was
what
nice.
actually happened. It was an actually smashed it. But yeah, what the hell is the huge green thing? And how much is it? It's sold, and it is an Humanoid, and he's
Tendril.
amazing. He's called Tendril, and he's gorgeous. So yeah, awesome.
Toy collectors will never go extinct. I think there'll always be toy collectors. I think he's right.
Yeah,
Time
Yeah.
will move on. You know, in about 50 years' time, we might struggle.
yeah, but yeah, hopefully that'll be the thing. So how many times do I hear the phrase, "Oh, I had one of those when I was a kid"? Yes, all the time. Everybody says, "I had all this." Come in and lie to you straight away. Oh, great, okay. But yeah, it's nice that people do that though, because it makes someone, you know, moves them heart, as it were.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. How many times did you hear?
That's
Oh,
what
I had one of
that's
them.
what I was referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Again, good T-shirt. If somebody hasn't done it,
Yeah.
you should.
I think somebody has.
Have they done it?
I had one of them.
Well, we should
yeah.
buy one of those. Then.
Somebody
Have one of those T-shirts.
I
I know, I'm wearing it.
somebody did start a shop called I Had That.
I had that. It's
I
a
had
good
that or
one.
something
I had
like
one
that,
of-
yeah.
I had one of those,
I think it
yeah.
was, yeah.
Jay's asking us if we've had any modelling requests off the back of the show.
Well, Airfix.
Yeah, you want me to glue my hands to a Harrier jump jet?
Play-Doh, yeah.
That's
That's
again.
it's kind of Madison.
So yeah,
Play-Doh stuff.
Graded toys. Go back and watch our episode 12. We're quite in depth on the
yeah.
graded
So
toys.
episode
yeah.
12 is a good roundup of a lot of
Yeah.
questions that we were getting.
Yes.
There we go. Here's a good one. Aside from toy collecting, do we have any other hobbies? A
Um,
little bit about us.
yeah. Matt's
Well-
a massive. Yeah, go on.
Well, no, but my hobby is kind of like filmmaking. So this is kind of this was kind of a hobby project because I make films for businesses.
You got paid a pittance.
But I'm one of these people that I'm lucky that I do some. Well, like these guys,
Mm.
I do something for a living that is kind of like my hobby as well. So even when I'm not filming, I tend to be involved in short films, documentaries, and stuff like that. I love recording stuff. One of my favourite toys as a kid was actually a cassette recorder, and I used to go and buy cassette tapes, C90s, and I used to make little shows with my cousin. We used to make radio shows and little dramas and all sorts of stuff because it was very difficult to get a video recorder in them days. So yeah, this is kind of like filmmaking is kind of like my hobby as well. And maybe I suppose say to you guys, it toys. Musician as well. We're both musicians in a way.
Matt, stand-up comedy, music. You love Lauren Hardy. That's a massive
Yeah, I
thing.
do like films. And,
For me, I don't know. I suppose Music is kind of. I love music. I love.
Got a collection of basses, haven't you?
Yeah, but I've trimmed the fleet down though. I love
The
old
fleet?
cars. I love old cars. I love old bikes. I love old. Just really, yeah, just interesting old stuff. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I love being with my family. I love holidays. That's kind of my thing. I love being with the family.
And Gav?
That's my
For me, yeah, art and movies, and I
Yeah.
combine the two.
Yeah.
And obviously movies and toys,
Yeah.
and again combining, the two loves there.
See, the movies thing, I'm not at all
No,
into films.
it's- yeah.
I'm not. I love comedy shows. I like the odd comedy film, but I'm not really mad about.
That's it. James, who works with us, he's dropping film quotes all day long, and Joe's just a blank.
I'm nonplussed.
Maybe we
I
need
have
to have
no
a
idea.
swap out where you go work in my office, I'll come here for a day.
Yeah,
we get all these
fine.
film references.
Yeah.
Good
Question though. Thank you, Squiddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for it. There's loads of questions, guys. We won't get through them all, but
We're
we'll
trying
try and
to
answer them.
race through them now.
Brickman Toothsin, which is honestly absolutely amazing channel he's got.
YouTube
as well.
channel. Yeah.
He's really, really
Big
good.
on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's the views on the Transformers Masterpiece line, and what I buy? I'm not massively into Transformers, but they are very pretty.
I love them.
They are really, really nice.
I said this 2 years ago. I said I don't like them, but I really like them.
Yeah.
So I really like them.
Sound waves, nice.
I like them.
The sound wave
I
is
won't buy
really
it because I don't buy
Yeah.
G1 Transformers for me. I buy them for the shop and I love them.
Expensive though. I think if you've got the money, they're nice. But
Yeah, but
Yes.
I love this. You know what I
They
did
look
have?
great on display. They
Yeah.
really do.
They do. But I dabbled and then sold them very quickly because I just thought, no, I can't go down this rabbit hole. So yeah. What else we got? There's loads of questions.
Yeah.
There's loads and loads of questions.
Someone in the States watching as well. Lots of people in the States been watching it, which
Yeah,
is
thank you,
nice.
Farron Smith, saying they watched it, so I like it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh,
Do we
thanks,
get
guys.
shoplifters?
I'm a big lad, but I'm very quick. Over
Yeah.
a very short distance. So no, occasionally we've had. I mean, years ago, yeah, we've had properly. We've properly had people next to, but not for a long time.
The thing is, we have a lot of things. Everything
And it's in a cabinet.
nice is locked up in cabinets.
You might get a 20 quid item every now, but we're generally quite. We talk to the customer straight away, and
That's it.
so you kind of figure out.
That's it.
So
And
most of our customers are lovely.
And we're a little bit off the beaten track, so we
Yeah.
don't get,
And literally, you know what? The last couple of times it's happened, our customers have alerted to it.
yeah.
That's how good our customers are. They've
that
gone,
is nice.
Joe, that guy's just gone out with this, and you're like, right, okay, right. So yeah, which is I imagine scary for the guy that's nicked it when I'm running at him at full belt. But yeah.
Well, that's dark. If you have one toy to take to your grave, so one toy, basically.
A light up one.
The one toy. Yeah.
Just in case of one with a torch on it.
I'll tell you what mine is. It's my 1984 Stay Puft plush toy.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool.
And he's so haggard now.
yeah.
But he's ace, and he's my main man.
I don't know. I think it would be something like that. Probably would be. I've got like an old teddy that I
Yeah.
had. It's not the one I had as a kid. It's one that I found on my travels. And was like, it's exactly the same. And I'd probably, say
Yeah.
him.
That's
Yeah,
it. So
that's
it always comes down to the soft toys.
Or maybe Teddy Ruxpin or something is going to make a noise because that'd frighten people. It's quite funny. One that repeats your voice.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
I'll go with a horse-sized duck.
Yeah, you can get one good punch.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Take him out in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, back myself on that. Series on DVD, Blacked Out Ewoks, just underneath that one.
We have talked about it, but it's a big undertaking.
Well, for me,
it's out there for free on YouTube.
This is probably where the technical filmmaker comes in. DVD, obviously, you can only get 4.7 gig on a standard one-layer DVD.
You're losing viewers.
We've shot. I've got to answer this question. So we're going to do it again.
I'm only joking.
It's DVD's not HD. We've shot the whole series in HD. So it'd be a big undertaking for the few people that want it. So best to do is if you can download these things off YouTube if you wanted to keep it, or we could send you a copy.
AMI 6 underneath on that. Somebody's put AMI 6. Yeah, the AMI 6. I've had a number of AMI 6s.
What's
I don't know if
what's
that's
AMI 6?
Where
It's
we're
a
looking?
Citroen AMI 6. Just don't worry about it.
Oh
It's
right,
a
come
Citroen.
on.
Yeah, it's a
Alright.
car thing. Yeah, AMI 6s. I've had 2.
I drive a Morris Minor just in case, you know.
Yes,
I
I
don't
know.
drive at all.
He doesn't drive at all.
No. Somebody asked about, do you buy any knockoffs?
Yeah, like
Yes, as in like the 80s ones, we've got some amazing. But what you consider knockoff toys from
it
that
depends,
era?
yeah.
Some of the coolest toys are knockoffs.
From that era, like vintage knockoff, yes.
So what's the difference between knockoff and bootleg? It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, but
really, yeah.
like modern. And also, where do you come in on the whole Transformers sort of?
That's
like,
the thing, because some of the Transformers knockoffs are great.
Yeah, but not the like. So it's kind of what are you considering? Because it's like the fans project ones, which are they not? I don't know. So it's just a yes and no. So we won't buy reproduction parts or anything like that and put them out. But yeah, otherwise knockoffs, yeah, probably, but not if they're sort of hooky and made to look like the original. So we wouldn't buy a Generation 1 Swoop, for example, as you saw in the show, if it's an knockoff.
Has Matt ever had the Dennis Fisher, Morecambe and Wise game? Were you aware of this game?
I am. Oh, Rob Taverner again. Thanks, Rob. Rob, I do know Rob Taverner from my Madness connections.
The band.
Yeah, not the tablets. Yeah. I was aware of it. It's a game that got kind of rebadged for loads of different people. It's a great box, but I wouldn't want to own it. But my favourite thing on my dashboard, I've got 2 little Morecambe and Wise figures. I don't know where they came from. They're kind of like the people that make train, the people that stand on the side of train collectors. They made a Morecambe and Wise set, and I've got 2 sets of those because if you ever see them, buy them because they're really, really rare. And they sit on my dashboard. So Morecambe and Wise toys, who knew? Yeah.
For the American viewers, Morecambe and Wise were a comedy duo in the 70s.
They did the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah.
They did very well.
We're taking round that most of the viewers weren't watching the Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh, only the Beatles were on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh my!
Only the Beatles. James is on. We should say thanks now to James.
James and the B team. Yeah. So James Morgan, a lot of you know him from the Mask pages. He works with us here at the shop. He's the man in the basement. Just get down there.
Still own a pint. Still a pint.
Yes, he's a top man. And the B team that helped us out while we were on tour. The B team came and helped us. So I think I have great shameless haggling skills. Well, it's not because I'm quite apologetic about my haggling, but I'm trying to. And you've already done a bit of groundwork. Will you be able to? Some people won't work with you at all. You're like, right, that's fine, and you just buy the stuff.
But also, this is a TV show.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not a hidden camera, so the people that own the shop know that they know what they're doing. They're not. No one's being forced to do it.
Yeah.
They could literally say, "No, I'm not going to do that." And if they wanted to do that, we wouldn't film it.
And we have dealers that we covered this many times, but we have dealers that regularly drop in here and buy loads of stuff for very cheap.
Yeah.
And they sell it on and make money. That's fine.
And that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. That's what it is.
Most valuable item we have for sale. Most expensive item, most valuable item, I would say, is the C-3PO or the little jacket. Yeah. Most expensive item, though.
Expensive item at the moment is probably the He-Man and Panther gift set. We've got out the back, about 3,000 odd quid.
Yeah, 3,750, I believe, isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Graded at 85.
And it is a beaut.
Yeah.
Do you rent out space in your shop? No.
We
have not enough space for the stuff we've got.
No, we've got stuff that needs to go out now, but we can't get it in here. People
God loves the 18.
That whole thing again.
Go back. Look back at the early episodes.
Long-time viewers will have recognised it.
See, lots of people want these V figures.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
These figures won't be for sale.
No.
So,
any prize Lego in your collection? That was one of the things that just went.
Prize Lego? Not me. I've not really got much in the way of
Velma.
Lego.
No, I think
apart from Velma, obviously.
Figures.
Yeah.
So you like the figures?
Oh, minifigures. Yeah.
Yeah, Lego.
I've got a few minifigures. Yeah.
Lego's cool, but it's not something I collect personally. I like building the old stuff, and I get very excited about it when it comes in. But then after about my 4th set, I'm kind of got Lego fatigue, and I don't want to do anymore.
There's some good sets in Nerd Base, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Lego
There was.
Pirate ship.
Funniest things happen on the tour.
A lot of.
It was all behind the scenes.
Well, no, there was funny stuff.
The major laughter.
A lot of the stuff's in there. You've seen it, but there was. We did meet some characters when we stopped filming. We relaxed and stuff like that, which made us laugh because we're in that kind of mood. we had a beer in hand, or
we had a weird fanboy moment, didn't we?
We did have a weird. We met somebody that knew.
Go out my gate. It was that moment.
It was that day.
Basically, it was this guy in this place that was just. He kept telling us how to get places, but every time he said, "Go out my gate." He said, "No, what you want to do is go out my gate." And then every time he told this, he just kept saying that.
And we had this image of people who'd not taken his instructions and just stayed inside the gate and couldn't find anything.
So it was really
all
weird.
piling up in his garden.
So we were just trying to get somewhere because we just needed to eat something and like,
If you go on tour around Britain, you will meet some funny characters.
Yeah, and we definitely met some eccentric people.
There you go.
Right, Dom, hi Dom, how you doing, mate? Yeah, so Dom's just opened a shop as well, I believe. So Dom's, we're hoping we're going to go and see him at some point. I do a toy shop, swap shop, spin-off special, and one of you guys spends half a day in my new shop. Oh yeah, you mentioned the new shop. I can finally visit you. Well, you've been promising that for ages, Dom. You've not been down. So
yeah, come on, Dom. Come on.
You've got to put
get
out
out
first, mate, as it were. You've got to come down and see us.
If you're reincarnated as a toy, what would you be?
There's loads like me.
Oh man,
You know,
Optimus Prime. I'd want to be Optimus Prime.
Would you really?
He's a hero, yeah.
Oh,
Come on,
You've got
he's
a lot of responsibility
so
though,
wise,
man.
yeah, but he's got a great gun. He's so wise. He's like, has he ever done anything wrong, Optimus Prime?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Great voice as well. I'd like that voice.
Oh, it's
Don Cullen.
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen, sorry.
Yeah, it's Cullen.
Get me knowing something.
Never had a telly, but he had a radio.
Oh, there you go. Had a record player. Yeah. And I had friends. Not anymore. Anyway, no. I'd probably be the guy, the little Fisher Price Adventure People reporter.
Oh yeah,
with the shirt and tie.
Yeah.
Not X-Ray Man.
Looking bedraggled.
Oh right.
X-Ray
Man.
He's good though, isn't he? Yeah. He looks so real. Like he could.
Well,
be...
he looks just cheesed off. I just
think he
like
was-
him. It's only action figure where he's just like, you can see he just going,
I think the guy knew him. I bet he worked in the local paper shop or something. He knew him and he got, right, my revenge on you.
Yeah, I think that'll be me because I'm generally.
I'll be that little muscle commentator.
Yeah.
He's just short me with hair and a microphone.
Yeah,
So it'll work.
That's got that
Easy.
sorted anyway.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Brilliant. Right, we're gonna have to wrap it up in a minute,
I'm going to
guys.
scroll right down.
To show some stuff. We're not showing any stuff today. If you want to come and
Yes. But keep an eye on, we'll be doing some more lives in the future
yeah,
where we're going to start showing some more bits off from the
and,
shop.
and to be honest with you, we're not really that interested in money.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a real thing. We love having toys, and it's like that thing of having a shop is it's such a weird thing. It doesn't work like in any other industry. But we're kind of more excited. When somebody brings some toys in for us to buy or wants to swap stuff, that's more exciting for us. Than, like we're looking forward to Monday, not to see customers
Just
and
because
sell
we've got
toys.
loads to price up.
It's so we can show people the new stuff we've got.
Yeah.
It's so we can get the stuff out and price and enjoy it ourselves. So yeah. But thanks very much for joining us, everyone. Is there anything else? Anything else? Anybody wants
Well, I
to say?
just want to say that, and if you've not watched all the series, do watch it and also share it with people you think you might like, because we do like I really like looking at the comments, going back through. We've not had many negative comments, but even there, it's nice to learn stuff and take stuff on board that we can incorporate. Next time. But and we're always learning when it comes to what people want to see. So just keep commenting and keep interacting, and if you think somebody might like it that share it. That's how we'll get to do more great stuff in the future.
Yeah. So it's been really great. We've loved doing the series.
It's cool.
We are going to do more, so that's going to be something you guys can hopefully at some point you'll get to see some of that stuff, and we should have some more news coming out over the next sort of in the new year.
Keep an eye on all our social media. We will be sharing a lot in the next few weeks. There's a lot coming up, and hopefully some more of this rubbish. Yeah. So, and if you want to get any of the mugs or any teas or anything like that,
I was just going to do a cheers at the end, but it's a good plug.
Good plug.
Yeah. So so thank you for watching. It's been great. Toyshop on tour. Stay tuned. Cheers, guys. Well done.
Coffee was lovely.
Good to work with you.
How very pleasant. Goodbye.
See you, folks. Thanks a lot.
See you next time.
Bye.